if an artist is at certain place bo xamne aji mom mara wona def lu ndaw pour uplift ko, I don't have a problem with that. So with the list, Fatanga. Okay, now let's say this, yeah. Before we go into this, everybody that I mentioned on this list is not any other Gambian artist to me. Maybe come here and me they said, and I always tell you this, man suma relationship ak artist ak yen said relationship ak artist dafa ute, because man dama de interact ak artist yi, dama de muna wax ak ñom, dama de muna am ak ñom like rapport bo xamne back and forth. Or like how I want you to understand it is like I've got a lot of Gambian artists and men, a lot of them. So this is a list of men, only men, no women. What I want you to know is list bi kuma si orek xamal ne wax na mom ben yon ñaari yon. It's not that dama nekk di tana any other Gambian artist to say okay, let me do a review on this artist. No. Either wax na mom, tase na mom, am nañ rapport bi, talk nañ, waxtaan nañ telephone or waxtaan nañ text. So I'm gonna start with who am I gonna start with? Okay, I'm gonna start with Maha. I know Maha. Maha the Hammer. You can ask. Some mention an artist here. You can ask why him. But I will also definitely say why him. Okay. Maha, I tend to know first. At first, Bima took a notice of Maha. It was on the, what's it called again? On the internet. What I took notice of Maha is that one artist, or one Gambian artist, because I observe them a lot. Maha is the Gambian artist, Bohamne. Maha would follow pages. Like, when you say a Gambian artist that loves to support, I see that in Maha. And I see Maha the Hammer as an artist, Bohamne, like he is cool. Like, I see Maha as an artist, Bohamne, he is supportive of other Gambian artists. Because I interact with artists, I just look at them and say, how do I invite Las Mosobi? And that is it for me. No, I observe. I like to follow their pages. I like to know what they're up to, and I like to know what they're doing. With Maha, and I had an interaction with Maha. When I did, Maha is this Gambian artist, Bohamne, dafa am yar. Like, Maha, dafa cool. Like, Maha is one of the coolest people in the industry. I like some of them it will be difficult to explain. Come Maha dafa am yar, dafa am tegin, dafa cool. He knows how to communicate. He knows how to get back to things. And Maha is the kind of Gambian artist that they appreciate. It's not a lot of them that does that. And it's not a lot of them that got that inside them. With Maha, like, Maha would always come back to you with that sense of appreciation, with that little bit of like, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you did. I appreciate how you support me. I appreciate how you've been there for me. Like Maha would always come back and give you a feedback of how much he appreciates you in his career. Or Maha Monica di ko xamé so ko defale lu tuti rek feel na le lu rëy la. Because I spoke to Maha a few times regarding the music. And don't get me wrong, all of these people I spoke to is regarding music and something to do with music. But I would say Maha is one artist that I always talk about and say, you know what, I love Maha. He is cool, he is calm, he's got his own thing. Maha is one of the sweetest in the industry, I'm not gonna lie. I love Maha the Hammer so much. It's unbelievable. And if you ask, because I said likes and dislikes, with Maha, take notice of anything that I don't like about Maha. Because anything you see internet be, law hamness. So just on something see internet be law hamness is about Maha and I don't like it, I would definitely point it out and say, Maha, you have done this once. And when I saw it, I was surprised, I was shocked, and I didn't like it. That is just me. And I'm telling you, whoever is gonna get hurt, you get hurt. Whoever is gonna get what's it called again? Pissed off, you're gonna get pissed off. Whoever is gonna get upset, you're gonna get upset. And that is Aji. Like, I know that Lee is not something that every other a person that presents shows would do, because you don't want people to get mad at you and all of that. Man, this is me. I tell you, like, man, how I see is how, no way, and I would definitely say it in front of the person's face. Okay, from Maha, we go to, why did I have Musa Philly next to Maha? Why do I have Musa? Musa should have come later. Later. Okay, from Maha, we have Musa Philly Jobate. Now, Musa Philly, I know just of recent. Musa Philly Jobate. Musa, where are you? I would love you to listen to everything that I have to say. Musa, basically, for Munyo Smosobi, Hot Sidby, it was a back and forth since last year. Taylor, Elikla. We've been doing that back and forth. At some point, I just stopped the communication because, like, man, I get agitated quickly. So when it's like, I don't like it. I just like when I have to do something, I'm organized. That's the right word for it. Man, I'm organized. Motosumosobi, I'm going to schedule 3 months prior. And every artist that comes to my show will tell you, date. Like right now, I've got artists by end of September. I said this over and over. My show is scheduled. It's not whereby next week my wanna call artist. Next week the show be now is scheduled. Every artist will tell you, it's not like in a giffy. It was scheduled. Musa Philly, I tried scheduling shows with him back and forth, but it didn't work out. Musa Philly, the first time I met Musa was last year. Manchester Cultural Weekend. And when I met Musa face to face, Big C, Ibrahim C, Mama introduced Musa Philly. And Big C introduced Musa Philly. Musa Philly Jobate. I'm like, no, I don't know him. Bobo's scheduling shows. And I was like, I don't know him. This is the first time I saw him. And the first time I literally had any interaction with him. But I saw a little bit about him as a drummer. Excuse me, I like a little boy having to play with drum, and I know a little bit about Musa, but how I only knew he plays the drum until Big C introduced me to Musa Philly Jobate and said, Kimo Musa Philly, he is cool, he's a cool kid, blah blah blah. And then introduced my Musa. Okay, I fell in love with Musa the first time I saw him. Because one thing I like about Musa Philly is fashion. Fashion. The boy gives me fashion. Yes. When I talk about fashion, I want Musa Philly to be like one of the first artists one of that I will call. Musa gives me a taste of an artist, like a taste of a young artist, a taste of someone who Musa gives me fashion, and he comes with fashion, because other people could give you fashion, but Musa gives me a taste of an artist. Like Manchester, the night for that show, I said it. We were on the review of that show. When Musa came out to perform, I was like, wow, bingo! Like that kid is good when it comes to sanse. And man so Mohammed ang hamne dama buga sanse. Te dama buga artist bu de sanse. Dama buga artist bu hamne like okay, if you look at other artists, they give you simplicity. But like in my head, an artist should be a kind of weird and come with something that like okay, ñom ñep dañ am set different styles. Like you will know that come artist B is a gentleman, and artist B is this artist B because the rapper bi dina buga sanse ni solo singer bi ko xamne mu ngi sing what you call again, how do you call it, hip hop, kuy sol drill or something. I like it even to make a drill langa jox ma a sense of fashion bo xamne is madness. If it's not that, give me something that would wow to me, like wow. Yeah. And if you give me simplicity bo hamne, it's gonna be simplicity bo hamne. If I'm like I will look at it and say, ooh, I like that. So one thing I like about Musa Philly is fashion. And then the night for the Manchester, I saw the fashion that he gave. I was like, yeah, that is good fashion. And then from there, my work in this Mosobi, there is where the back and forth started. And after that, Musa Philly. And then when he was coming to the UK this trip, mu message ma wax ma ne mu ngi ñëw. That's what I like about Musa. Bim ñëwee si dëkk bi ni mu ñëw mu message ma ne ma aji ma ne naa mu ne ma maa ngi UK. And I think that is nice. That is nice of him. And knowing ne like I'm a talk show host and dama dee interact ak artiste yi mu ñëw be Angleterre and then mu contact ma ne ma hey man si biir dëkk bi ak I feel ne comme loolu ku la defal loolu oo nga ko taranga. So bim ñëwee contact ma ne oh you know what I'm here blah 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 mu wax ma ko. And I didn't reply at first because it took me time because of the back and forth with Musa Philly. But I did say this to him. I was like, I can't be bothered again. So one time, I think this was last month or this month. It was this month. One time I knew them in the UK. My talk, like I was meant to, I wanted to do something with Safi. And I was like, okay, fine. Safi, I think we should go out. And she was like, yeah, we should do something. So I was like, okay, how do I contact Musa Philly? So I sent Musa a message and said, hey, what are you up to? Because when he came to Birmingham, he messaged me and said, hey, Aji, I'm in Birmingham. I was like, okay, cool. So my message, I'm like, okay, since he's in Birmingham and I'm in Birmingham, why don't we do something and have fun together? So I messaged him and I said, hey, Musa, how are you? I'm good. And I go, what are you up to? So I go, so on my note, do you mind hanging out with us later? Oh yeah, he's definitely in. We can do this. And then he got ready. You pick up and we went out. So this is where let me tell you, your Gambian artist here. This is where Musa I find out ne dafma de Rus, dafma de overus. And then I said to him, like, feel comfortable. Hey, okay, man, I feel comfortable. Magister of Madeira, you know, but obviously he's a kiddo. So Magister Musa is so uncomfortable. And I was like, hey, you know what? But before he came, I was like, okay, you know what? Come, we do videos together and have fun. And he was like, oh, he's all in. And he was like, oh, okay, you know what? I've got a song about him. You want to drop some new that song? I was like, perfect. So when you them sit down center me, we went to Nando's, we ate, and then we started doing videos, and he started settling in. To settle in, and we started having fun back and forth, and then he was so happy. It was unbelievable. And he said to me, "I'm going to Angleterre for boring, but Bimagini again, I literally enjoyed the fun with you guys." And then New Joge Nando's, and he said, "You and then he said, Agia said yes. He said, I don't want to go home. So Musa like he was so happy to be around us. He didn't want to go home. He said, can we do something else again? And I was like, oh, yeah, we can definitely do something. And Sophie was like, let's look for a Shiza bar. And then we went, then you gain like me, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't like having to do with anything that has to be smoke. Shiza Sadumokade too. So I'm thinking now, if they go smoke, man, what am I gonna do? Well, I was like, okay, I can blend it. I like stuff. Okay, fufu then they like. I'm so big like. I'm not fruits. I'm not everything. I was like, okay, let me go. Then my one Big C joined us, and Big C came, and we had a nice time with Musa Philly Jobate. And after that, one thing I like about Musa is like the thing with, you see, Musa, Kuroniko, Akmaha, they have similarity of the reason why I like them. So after that, Musa kept saying thank you, like. Thank you. Like, come gain me. They've got appreciate banga hamle. Come, he kept saying thank you. He went home and he said thank you for taking him out. And the next morning he said thank you for taking him out. And then each time, because then Big C said to me, oh, Musa is a good kid. I want you to look after Musa for me. And then like Big C mama introduced on a mom, and I was like, okay, Musa is a nice kid. And then he kept like, Musa appreciates every little thing that you do with that kid. He kept saying thank you, like back and forth. I was like, hey, it's okay. Like, I enjoy UK so much when he hung out with us. And when we were going to the Birmingham weekend, I made my large community for them. We decided to make some facilitate transportation. No more the messy Birmingham weekend be no more new Birmingham weekend. When the messy Nando's with water and opened up. I think that like Musa, what I like about him is fashion, respect. Musa's got respect. Musa. The fam so much respect is unbelievable. That kid, command, how I can end it. I am talking about my experience with them. Musa, that my respect so much is unbelievable. And each time I call him, he's like, oh, Aji, come. He tells me how much he appreciates me and my effort because the said because I'm going to see the so I think that it is nice man tamen so ma wote look lumako jox sa o fumako gene because fini meti na baga hamne distance. So I kept calling him and said, hey, you know what are you doing, are you okay, are you cool? And each time I do that, Musa really appreciate it. And I love that kid because the fam teranga, and I love that. So who are we going to? Malls. These are my baby husbands. Malls is one of my favorite people. I couldn't have done this live without mentioning Malls. Yeah, I love Malls. Uncle Mama Bole mom. Uncle Muneka, a keen follower of AgiesCorner. Mutuda Ansumana Nyasi. And he jokes with me all the time. He plays with me all the time. And one time, just the maneka di ko hamne come. People think that it's the big thing that people do for me, but it's the little thing that people do. One time I was just randomly scrolling on Facebook, Manduka Facebook, Majis Malls, Uncle Mutagma, Munema, Dafma Buga Denka Jarbatam. And then I can look after him, Bapare support call and uplift him, whatever I can do, and I can do. And when I saw the post, I know Ki Nijayam is a kid follower of me who also supports me. Because like I always said, people like you is who made AgiesCorner who AgiesCorner is. So Bundijayam Binde Lulu Nonu, I read it and I was like, oh wow, that is deep. Because to be honest, we've got so many talk show hosts. We've got so many people that do what I do, especially back home in the Gambia. But this guy, he decided to tag me and said, look after my nephew for me. That was deep. To me, it was deep. So when I saw the post, I had to message him, Mom, and I said, can you give me Malls' number? Okay, I'm a problem. Send my number, Malls. And when I called Malls, one thing I like about RTC, Monek and your hamne come smaller contact is easy peasy. You're not big, fool you law, yabate law, big law, you're not disrespectful. So when I call, you see, some of them, the reason why I fell in love with them, did not know CNN RTC because I've got literally 20 or 21. When I called Malls, immediately he spoke to me, and then I sent him message back and forth. To tell him that, well, you know what, your uncle gave me your number to contact you, and my explaining about uncle, and he was so happy. He was like, yeah. The over support, like he was also so happy, and he said so many nice things about his uncle and how much his uncle supports his career. And then I could relate because then I'm like, this is the same guy that Ansumana that supports me a lot, that Made Monotone, that Made support everything that I do, he supports. So he brought that connection with Digante and my Malls. And then like from then on, my invite got to my show and Malls came to the show. So Sumade with Malls once like a little bit here and there, I'm gonna message because he's a kiddo and he's a kid in the industry. Like people like me, I've been in the Gambian music industry since 2011. So I literally know a lot of things. I literally see a lot of things. I know I know to be a musician, it's not easy. So with Malls, I look at him like a baby. Like that's what I always say to him, like my baby. Like sometimes Malls is one of the most confused artists in the industry. Sometimes he will call me like Smajabat, and sometimes he will call me mommy. But I can understand because of he will say Smajabat. Because of what's he called again? Sometimes he's like a baby to me. He will say mommy. So sometimes I'm like, you're confused. Get somewhere to stay. I have the feel all of it. That's how I fell in love with Malls. And I will tell you this. With his accident, the accident the other day, it was one of my toughest times in the industry. I went mental. That took a toll on me. I went crazy. I didn't sleep. I was traumatized. I was stressed. I couldn't talk to anyone. I was down. it was a nightmare. That was Bumakuma said the interact artist yep. That was the first time Mahamne, like, I love this kid so much that it's unbelievable. Okay, I am saying this, but I am getting emotional. With Malls, little ma feel like that more. Okay, now he is someone that I talk to. I chat with him back and forth to check on him because man, some of them can't it, right? They feel it. That responsibility to check on him. So there was a time I checked on him and then we were talking, we were chatting, not on the phone. And he said to me, Aji nyanal ma. I said, no. We were talking about him traveling and going to do his show in where is it? Is it Denmark or Norway? Correct me if I'm wrong. So we were talking about that, and he said, "Oh, wow, suma dembe nyanal ma." And he said, "Man suma dara lu siw jigut ma." And he said, "Man suma dara su siwe rek duma de jig." And I was like, "No, nga dem boy. Hey, dara do hell. Inshallah, no, nga dem." Yo, man, when you yap yo, danga dem perform. You know how dangam I am, like danga perform, te danga hay ji dañoo dem door fofu non dañoo yaaxa fofu non du gaza amuna boy aji ñaanal rek manako no, you know what, man munuma ñaan. And Mons was like, munema kay mo la de suma semester dafa bad. Manako no, man Angleterre la bëgg nga ñëw sax. So we were talking, manako so ñëwé Angleterre man mala look after bobu mom hay si man nga ñëw. So munema rek fofu moy suma favorite because like we were talking that after munema way ñaanal ma dem si bi ñëwaat mu ne bi siiw na de te demango ba. So I was just babysitting him. I was like, you know what, dinga dem te so bi dañ ko door. And he was like, so ma ñaanale suma demee dina la isil yóbbal. And I was like, okay, dina try. And he said, ñaan du ndaw loo mun rek def ko. I was like, okay, dina la ñaanal. Okay, now this was my last conversation with him. And then the night he had the accident, dama gis mu post a picture and I took a screenshot of it and I posted a picture. And then before the accident, I sent him a message and said, xam nga suma boy bi. And then I never got a response from that. And at some point, I just came on the internet and I saw he was involved in an accident. I was like, no. Okay, that night I was supposed to go on TikTok live with E. Then E called me. Muna ma nañ dem si suñ TikTok live bo schedule. I was like, no, I can't do it. Then he was like, yangi down, talk to me, like, what is happening? I was like, no, like, I'm not myself. And then man, I just see internet been a most of an accident. And wow, huh? Manako, wow. And the way I saw the car, that does not really look good. And then this is where I started calling him, call. I'm call, message Uncle and Uncle didn't know. I didn't want to be the first person to tell him, but I was scared. And then Uncle Munema, what's it called again? Didn't call family be, then call me back and say it's true. And then I didn't have anyone to call. So there is where I started calling Jisul's manager, Awa Munumoko. I left a message for Awa to get to me because I know that he is close to Jisul, but I couldn't call Jisul. I said, let me call Awa because I'm thinking that Jisul will get on tour and all of the Awa would be busy, less busier. And then that traumatized me because of the fact that Munuma Hamlo happened. And then I had to go back to our conversations and I had to read where Malls is like the Nyanalma, Mansuma Darasu Siwe Dumadejik. That messed me up. That really messed me up as a person. I was like, wow, no, nothing should happen to this kid. And it was one of sada because it was a stressful night. And my air was the next day with me. I was sad, I was down, I felt so like I was not myself. And later on is when I got an update to say he is okay, he is cool, nothing is wrong with him. And I was like, wow. And then he was like, now you need to look after yourself. Nothing is wrong with the kid. You definitely need to look after yourself now. Relax, Alhamdulillah, nothing is wrong with him. And to be honest, and I appreciate the fact that many Gambian artists gain and then you def their heartfelt greetings and send love to him, and I really appreciated when they did that. Every Gambian artist that did that, I really appreciated, because I feel like those are times that he needed all of you to be there for him. And then that is the reason why I love Malls. I just love him because his uncle loves and supports me, and his uncle wanted me to be there for him. And Sumana, thank you for introducing me to Malls. And we come to who? Big C. Big C. And like regarding not liking anything about Malls, I don't, because I don't know much about him, so I can't say. And it's recently like I'm big on Malls, so I can't say much like I don't like this about him. But he is a kid, and he's got so much respect for me. If I see anything I don't like about him on the internet or anything, I'll pick my phone and say, hey, we need to address this. I like that about him. And one thing I like about Malls, deglu katla of deglu. Like when you speak to Malls and said, hey, you know what? I think this and this and this. He's like, yeah. I think that should be put under consideration. Come, mom, do they disregard anything? When you speak to Malls and said this and this and this, he looks into it, and then he takes step towards it, because it's not many artists that would do that, to be honest. And then we have Big C, Ibrahim C. Big C. A lot of people now would know, like, Ibrahim C. The reason I love Big C, Big C, the one thing I like about him is he is that one Gambian artist, Bohamne. He wants everyone else to win. Like, he's got a heart of a goal. Wow. Mom Hollambi is like, mom, do they just artists? Mom, gam music like this. And then he would support anything that is Gam music, because man, I was doing social issues, and Big C was the person that contacted me and said, you know what, he did over 1 year. I think you should come into Gam music. As thing industry bi dañ la need yang for one da nga wara del ci wat industry bi dañ la need. I was like, wow, man for one, but then it was Agies Boutique, not AgiesCorner. But then now I don't think I can do this anymore, because I don't want to be in Gam music, because music comes with a lot of things. It's just, I've been there before, so I know it comes with a lot of things and doesn't need attention and all of that. So I refused. But moral of the story, what I like about Big C is he is supportive. And man la one man buy with my ben bor. Big C is one of the Gambian artists you have. If I'm scared, I run to him. If I'm needy, I run to him. If I'm worried, I run to him. If I need to talk, I run to him. If I need to rant, I run to him. He's got an open arm. Like he's got open arms to be there. And to be honest, sometimes if I need something, like the endorsement deal, he had to be there to manage me and do this, do that. And to be honest, he is part of my team. And he makes sure like everything with me is okay, is this, is that. So my need or hamne is urgent, is Big C. Like he is supportive. And man lalo bugud ma stress, bugud ma mer, bugud ma am lu ma nahari, bugud ma nit def ma lu ma nahari, bugud ma degal lu ma nahari. Come, he loves me genuinely. Like his love for me is just another level shit lalawa. And like, even if I message him in the middle of the night, he will reply the next morning and say, Lord Efati, Lohewati. Because he knows, like, I always go to him if I need to talk, if I need to this, if I need to calm down. I remember one time, I was stressed about something, but it has nothing to do with Gam music, because we're that close. I called him and I cried. I'm not talking about Gam music. It was something that happened to me and I cried. And like, I said to him, I'm sorry, I cried. And he said, no, it's okay. You needed to do that. I'm here, talk to me. And I spoke to him about, I was stressed about something, but I can't remember. But I think this was last year. And he gave me shoulders to lean on. Big C is like a big brother to man. He's like a brother to me. He loves me, and I love him endlessly, and that's what I like about him. And another thing that I like about him, when I'm around Big C, I'm very happy, because Big C is jovial. They top feed, they definitely, they coffee, they living, like, I just love him. I just love him. What I don't like about Big C, I tell him all the time, I think he takes other people's career more serious than his own career. But when I spoke to him about this, he said, you know what, because music is not the first thing that I put on the table right now. So if it's come to music, I have a job to do. I have other responsibilities. I have this. I have, I get that because so neke si Europe being a things are really stressful. More than you buddies you neka back home, then they have difficulties. No like wara neka fi drop bangers upon banger neka fi akfili. So I definitely understand that about Big C. Yeah, that is what I don't like about him. But don't get me wrong, we fight because mom in his head man madangam. And I love challenging people. So he challenges me. And when he challenges me, I'm like, okay, fine, let's flip the coin. Like, man, I think, remember last week, then you know, but man, I don't hold grudges because when I get upset, I tell you I'm upset because he did something that I got upset on. Then we started arguing, like, I'm disappointed in you, blah, blah, blah. And I did something that he was disappointed in, and he was like, oh, okay, you know what, I'm disappointed. And man, so that you did wrong, I quickly apologized. So I apologized, and we forgot about that. But like I said, man, they address issues, I don't hold grudges. So Big C is, I love Big C. And everyone knows that, because I know this Big C small platform me all the time. And then who? Nancho. Mama, the one, it's not Nancho, it's Nyancho. Nancho, the one they want to pronounce to them. Nancho, la dewa. It's Nyancho. Nyancho. The reason I love this guy is he is kind-hearted. Let me tell you one thing about that artist. He is one of the artists with the cleanest hearts industry. That guy, he's got a very, very clean heart. And he can support every other artist because with him is gum music. It's not about me. You know what? You've got artists your hamne is like man la. It's not gum music, it's me. Man la this, man my dem, man lenyo poos, man lenyo li, man lenyo la. Like man. Like you've got this artist your hamne, then selfish. But Nancho, Nyancho, trust me, every time Murema, either of course, how you do pronounce it would be right. Nyancho is one of the cleanest hearted dudes in the industry. And I am telling you this, I don't even have to say much about him. Koku dafa cool. Foko jis munge re, munge kaf, munge make jokes, munge crack jokes, munge like that guy, that dude. He wants to see everyone win. He wants to see everyone everywhere. But what I like about him again too is that they appreciate. This guy, so set si listening, you might own it, then they appreciate things. Nyancho, a little thing, munela thank you. Nyowati yo, thank you. This guy, you lolo len dut ñun society bu nekk loolu lañ dut am koo xam ne daf dee appreciate daf dee mun a wax jërëjëf daf dee gis ne def nga loo xam ne nu mu tudda lifin na ko like amal na ko njëriñ mu ne la jërëjëf that's why you know like man I don't like doing artists and songs suñ génne ma def video just to génne ma promote artists because man I'm not all about that but like Nancho bu songam bi génne immediately daf ma ko send what's it called again manager me tami peace send makone we would love you to do a video with that song and like because one thing more when the song drops newly I have difficulties for crab lyrics and I don't like to spend my time to go to pour concentrate rek ben artist song am rek pour cram ko na like we're all different man suma brain bi does not lyrics do they dem no suma brain bi I don't know why. I have difficulties for cram artists send song. This is why I even tell E, like with your projects, every song board def air, send it. Because before you mix come master call, so go away send me. So I make studio be send me because I need to listen to this song constantly. And because I know people will ask, how comes you know E's songs? Because I have his whole project last year. So project lufaneka dama ko deglu luy gena S. Daf ko way rek mu sen mako because then ma mun ko cram is man I'm not like every other different but I don't like kuma def music videos pour artists I don't know I'm not the kind of person that loves to do that you have other content creators ñoo xamne ñoo dañ ko dé bëgg def they love doing it because they love come artists come dama dé gis artists they def loolu let me use Tida Job as an example Tida Job bim constantly nekk on TikTok artists bu génné wéy dañ dé contact Tida Job and man so artists dañ ma dé gis tamit pour def loolu but I'm like nah I'm not all of that I don't like doing it but man dama dé nekk ci mood I do have my mood swings most of the time I'm like no I don't want to come Nekuma si moody joke pour solu sanse just to do a video. No. I don't have the energy. Come yena side ma de nek si mood bi de gana song bi. I'm in the mood. I'm like, oh okay. Come nancho drop on a song bu ne. Like full of gangster song. Nge kanu nyame yen kanu wale nyama. It's in my head for the longest time. Put that video. But didn't them defiji. But to me, neku lo hamne priority la. Come the more joke rek dem ko def ko because them I like song bobo. I love that song so much. I would love to do it. So like with Nancho, Nancho is one of the coolest Gambian musicians in the industry. Trust me. He's got a heart of a gold. And the farm respect. Just like when Nancho is talking to me, then you get that sense of respect. Like Motorman, to be honest, I tell you, I like this male artist. Because Nancho mom, like, I love where the respect is. And the next one is YD. Okay. YD, I know because one time, dafa nekon si moto, bo hamne, ko mom haritam hariti ila, like mutual friends. Why I think that was the first date I met interaction ak mom. So mune man ma YD. Mas moto bu maneka YD mumfa. And then because I love to invite artists so after when I was fake dan ko buga invite so why don't you just speak to him mungi ak man so sila jo YD telephone be and I spoke to YD and invite him to my show and mune ma dina ma send number mu send my number. What I like about YD is with me YD is lovey. He's the lovey-dovey. Like when he like these are people ñoo xamne duma de wax ñom constantly aw ma ñom waxtaan aw ma ñom xaar ma jaar but then with him he gives me that I'm a jiggen right that hey wifey hey small wifey what that's what I like about him. YD is just like oh Aji small wifey small jabar suma niece money he's when it comes to him he just loves me because of so he will call me my wife my this man like and I just tell him every time I said industry be your recommend or a wifey and to be honest that's what I like about him. You might have your experiences with all of these artists law hamne it's not like me but then again man suma experience la neka di waxañom and what I don't like about YD man what he can be controversial he can be dramatic sometimes but it comes with music. That's YD. We just have to take him the way he is. And then Swiss. You know all artists you have there, you'll be like, Aji, Swiss. Do you guys know Swiss and LJ? Swiss more way Swiss mom ak LJ ñoo way ak ST. Naka la way bi tudda? Naka na way bi turam. If you guys know the name of the song, write it please. Naka la way bi tudda? I know the lyrics. But na way bi why? Ntol bota dame mam fen soto. Yes, Swiss ak LJ. So Swiss. What I like about Swiss is Manma Swiss, we connected. From the moment I spoke to Swiss to invite him to my show, we connected. Because Swiss is like, you would know this about him. He's crazy. He's got this crazy mentality. He's got this I don't care, I don't give a shit, I don't give a damn mentality in there. He's got this naughty side of him. He's got this crazy side. Like Swiss Bob at me is like there's some crazy shit going on in his head. That's what I like about Swiss. But you will know this because Swiss is the artist Bob Hamne. Mungi si corner, mungi cool, mungi nopi, mungi neka saitam. But like they connect. Swiss is the only artist industry be ye bamje top be bottom ko hamne da they chat with. The only artist that I chat with is Swiss. And when I say we chat like we talk. And we talk like, and I feel like the come Swiss the for caring. Like he's got a mature brain. We talk about mental health. We talk about difficulties of life. We talk about what people go through. We talk about how we don't give a shit and we don't give a damn about things. We talk about things that I can tell you Swiss like they could constant chatting like every day. We can go a month or 2 or 3 but when we start chatting, we chat, we talk. Like we talk about so many things law hamne come it's educative and we talk about come things you hamne then nuro jiko because man, I'm crazy. Like I've got crazy things in my head. So I connect with Swiss a lot. He's the one artist who have the moon on your chat the whole day back and forth. Unless he's offline, then and most of the time, to be honest, it's not about gam music. Most of the time when I chat with Swiss, it's not about gam music. It's about life. How we don't care about so many things, shitty things that people say, people do, what people do. Like how we are not bothered about other people's lives and we don't care. We mind our business. We talk about things that make sense anyways. And Swiss is one of my favorite people. I chat with Swiss. Monica, the only Gambian artist in the industry. Yep. Come on, they chat. I love Swiss. And who? And what I don't like about Swiss. No, I don't think I dislike anything about Swiss. Swiss, wherever you are, you know I love you. You know, you know I love you. And then we have Jali Madi. If Jali watches this, he will like, Aji watch ma? Jali Madi. Jali. I mean, Jali, I love Jali from before. I'm a big fan of Jali Madi, to be honest. A very big fan of Jali Madi. I know Jali before mom dafa bokk ci artist yoo xam ne comme depuis 2011 la when AgiesCorner was Agies Boutique. Jali, I became so close to Jali. Jali mooy the one Gambian artist boo xam ne moom laa gën a closer than Gambian artists. Yes. Jali is the only Gambian artist boo xam ne dama di mën a wax ak moom telephone 1 hour, 2 hours. We talk. Like man ma Jali, we're friends. Jali suma waay la. And how I get to know Jali is mama introduced Jali and said to me, Jali suma waay la. Jali have contributed a lot in my music career. Suma kotola. And I have so much respect about Jali. And he told me so many things about Jali, how Jali supported him and how much Jali was there for him. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to suma kotola, japako, nit ku baax la si man, nit ku ma fa nekkal la. Then I have so much respect for him. Then he respect Jali to the point of Derus Jali. And Jali respect he bed of Derus. So from that is when I'm friends with Jali and we became so close. And Jali Monica artist bo hamne suma defé naka sulu non wété ki téléphone hey Aji hey togal daji ni aji dele aji like Jali is the kind of artist bo hamne mun na kaf ak mom mun na ré ak mom mun na def ak mom li mun na def like ba pare Jali daf may yaatal mu def ma jigéenam bugam ma Jali bugut lu ma naxari bugut ma am lu ma naxari Jali even checks on me even with ndax neeku di la sona ndax lii su la defee nii su la nele wala bul sona like I love Jali. Jali is just a sweetheart, to be honest. I just love Jali to the max. Wow. Jali is one of my favorite people in the industry. And Jali's got so much respect for me. Jali bugut lu ma naxari. That's the reality. Bugu dara lumana he checks on me. Jali suma degute da fay tek telephone am hey Aji nakam yaangi cool yaangi okay mba dara hewud mba ni mu jël telephone am call ma waxtana man. That's one of the things that I really appreciate about Jali. Jali looks after me. Yeah, and he is the one artist bo xamne I am comfortable to talk about anything. Yeah, why what I don't like about Jali dafa bari fitna. Jali would fight with me. Dañoo hulo suba gon bitching. Suñu waxtaan yépp xulu la. Jali every time daf ma dee xula. That's what I don't like about him. But regardless, and I think that Jali, so many artists, if it's not so many artists, they have so much respect for Jali because society industry vitamin many artists am nañ collabo ak Jali. Jali collabo na ak artists ba nga xam ne to the point that people were saying that Jali artists collabo la. But he based most of his time in his career uplifting other artists and being there for other artists. And I like that about Jali. He is supportive. The man lalo the side me take a telephone and then Jali, I want this, I need this. Even when I started managing I used to call Jali and said, like, at most of the time I struggled with some of the things, and then Jali would be like, Baiko, didn't I sort out. Bull, try some and sort out. And when I hang off Jali, didn't them sort out whatever I wanted, and then he would call me back and said, Lijantina, bull worry, I'm done with it. So Koku, he is supportive when it comes to me. And the next person is who? Singate Rice. Singate Singate, before I know Singate, I was being judgmental regarding Singate. I was not a fan of Singate. Not at all. I used to look at him like he is arrogant. He is proud. He's got too much ego. I'm just being honest. That is me. Like, I told him this on the hot seat, and he would tell you this. I look at Singate and said, can't be bothered. Ki hawud bopam. Ki dafa fuy. Ki dafa rëy. Ki moy kan. Ki kum fog bopam. I used to look at Singate and said, ki ñu sonal. Ki bari hajan torop. Yes. All the time. Like, knowing Singate, I went to the same school with Singate. Yeah. Knowing Singate, I look at Singate, I'm like, no, that's not my kind of artist. No. Yeah. That is me. I'm just being honest. And then, Singate, Big C introduced me to Singate. I can't remember how, why Big C Mama introduced to Singate. Mama John Nambam and said, invite him to your show. Time, I think this was year before last. Last year, my invite her to my show. And the first day I spoke to Singate, I was like, oh, wow. That is why it's not good to be judgmental. Wow. The first day I spoke to Singate, he was so down to earth. He was like all over the place. Like, because then because of man set down when I do social issues. The first day I spoke to him, he was like all over the place. And then we started chatting and like we connected. And then I was like, oh, okay, nakita ki melu come no ko forget because forgot that is moko call ma jay if you ma jay paid. Like sometimes more than you know Lord it's not that all of that or it's not that person. We just being judgmental. And with Singate, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. Man, I don't sit on the camera to lie. With Singate, I told him this over and over. And I said this on the internet on his hot seat. Because no one knows hot seat me. I used to think that he's a very arrogant person. That's what I think, man. Because how he was presenting himself. There's something about him that literally put me off about him. Wow. I was not a fan of Singate. I'm not going to lie. Yes. But then I get to know Singate. And Singate is one of my favorite people. Because one, he is supportive. Man, musuma call Singate. Ma sohla dara. Aw mako. Musuma call Singate. Ma sumako call aw mako sa. Do man leave a message. I know he will get back to me and said, oh, I missed your call. And sumako, like people will say, call na Singate. Me sona aw mako sa. Man, if I call Singate, I drop a missed call and then he will get back to me and said, oh, I was doing this and I appreciate that. Manama de one, it is rude to ignore people. And with him, he does not ignore me. He can be busy and all of that. But Singate smoko call, he picks my call. And if I need help with something, sometimes then I have difficulties with maybe to write something and he would just and send it to me. And sometimes I will get difficulties with contacting someone, need number or something, and then he will give it to me. Or sometimes then I have problem put connect something. Sometimes I have issues with the some things in music industry. The first person I think of calling is like Singate. And then when I call him, he will say, okay, let me deal with it. Now I'll call back and deal with it. Now this is where I say, get to know your artist. Because man, before my interaction with Singate, let me tell you, he's not my cup of tea. He's not one of my favorite people. Wow. Yes, that is me. I used to look at him and I said, this guy is so proud, it's unbelievable. I don't know him, how much. Musuma hamon before. How my interaction ak mota is not good to judge people. Yeah. Man, suma dege anything sa about Singate, man, defut ko ak man, aw ma mom har ma jar. But like he is one of the people yo xamne tamit suma ko geje dega man suma way suma len geje dega I pick my phone and check on him suma ko geje dega dama ko de pick suma telephone ma call ko o yeen sa suma ko geje dega sa dama ko de mo message man ko da nga am tay wife bu es o dafa many tay da nga am jaaxa de parce que ya ma bay yeah. And Singate is one of the people yo xamne when I started Gam music he was one of the people who I said to myself, you know what, I would love to sit down, and he sits down. You like go on a date or have food or something, like do something together. Because I wanted, because of the fact that I'm a George from the beginning, I wanted to get to know him. And then I used to tell him, like, there was a time I wrote on my, what's it called again, on my AgiesCorner, if I am to go on a date with any artist, it would be Singate. Because I wanted a brunch, maybe brunch, date, it's just me and him sit down and I chat with him and I get to know him, because dama ko George from the beginning when like I didn't know him, and I think that is all he, man. I cannot say ne Lord do la de dal, do ma de dal, but with Singate I was so judgmental, and I would love to know him more. Yeah. Mom, I think Singate mom's, but one thing I like about Singate is he is not one of the sensitive artists. Come Singate, munna ko criticize. With him, I take the piss. The Singate, I criticize Singate and he does not get upset, because people like Singate don't know me. Like, hamnane, man mentality, moi am du mentality Gambian. Hamnane man munna ko binda si internet, man romba, ñep di reyante, ñep di wax, ñep di def ni, ñep di def deli. Suma yon neku si. I've said what I have to say. Kusi mer nga mer, kusi de nga de, kusi am lo nahari yo lulu sa affaire la. Man, like at that point, what is the truth is what's the truth, or how I think and how I feel, because man, my opinion is my opinion. Then I'm to respect my opinion, my respect an opinion. If you drop it, I respect it. I drop it, I respect. And you don't see me everywhere on the internet, they criticize people or try to cheat about other people's. No, on my page is my page. If I have to write about any artist, I write it and I drop it. If you want, we can fight. So Singate is someone that if I criticize, he looks at it and say, oh, it's Aji again. Or he will even come to my critics and then right there, Mohammed back and forth with me to say, Aji la, Aji bayati suma turbi, Aji ni, Aji nele, because neku ne artist yepa muna jillulu. I don't know if you know that. Do artists yep ñoo de gis ne nit criticize na ba pare mu jël ko, because it's inevitable. Dañ am pour artist dañ am pour nangu pour xam ne dinañ leen criticize, dinañ wax ci ñoom, dinañ binda ci ñoom, but then yow yaa jàngee ci liñ wax wala nga jëlee something good ci luñ wax wala nga dump luñ wax dafa des ci yow wala nga ignore ko. Because man, excuse me, I don't expect any artist ñu criticize nga ne yow yaa nga dem foofu noonu yaa nga defante comme nit ku wérut. Sa profile as an artist is very important. So that is what I like about Singate. He can have his bots and all of that, but man, I have so much respect for him and he's got so much respect for me. And I remember come mom, he checks on me. Suma degute mom tami, he sends me a message and say, Ajila de yagi do batule silanga neka, and then he jokes with me all the time. And then we go to Ali Badara. Mother Mylan, dingen dig artist yo hamne. Maybe dingen de wow. Okay. Ali Badara artist. Aliou Badara mu nekk artiste boo xam ne Aliou Badara dañ close. We don't talk so often now because of Tuki, but Aliou Humanity Stars, Aliou suma waay la. Aliou dañ close boo xam ne Aliou suma néeg la ra. Ni sama tam man wax ma AgiesCorner de Agies boutique is where Aliou knows me. At the time I used to support Humanity Stars with Sunday. Aliou suma kër la de nekk 24 hours, like morning, night. Aliou is the artist boo xam ne Badara ndeysaan Aliou moo daan génn sax dem perform ji, mu perform si guddi bi ñu fay ko. Su suba su eewoo suba the first person ku moo call mooy man. Mu ne ma ne démba dem nañ de génn nañ perform nañ so please jox nañ ma dara de waaye dama la ko bëgg a ñëw jox si nga téyel ma ko. Waaw Aliou moo nekk artiste boo xam ne financially lu mu am daf ko daan indi si man mu jox ma ko, mu compter ma compter, mu ne ma téyel ma téye. Yenn saa dina ma jox xaalis mu ñëw mu jëlaat xaalis, mu ñëw mu jëlaat xaalis, mu call ma ñaata moo des, mu call ma ñaata moo des. Li ma wax Aliou dina ko seetaan. Aliou noonu lañ close. Aliou Aliou dañ close ba nga xam ne moom daf ma óolu ak alelam. Aliou mu nekk artiste boo xam ne moom su déggee ñu ne Aji rek daf ko dee naxari. And he told me this. Last year he sent me a voice message and said, su ma gisee ku la wax dara si internet daf ma dee naxari. Because li ñoo wax si yow du yow. Mu ne ma dama la xam. Mu ne ma suñ xamoon ne yow you're the I don't care kind of person, like li nga ne def safuñ ma, li nga ne def métti wut ma, duñ wax lu bari. So that's the kind of artist Aliou is. Mu ne ma Aji ma ne naa mu ne ma lu la naxari daf ma dee naxari. Mu ne ma yenn binday sa su ma ko gisee daf ma dee naxari, mu ne parce que kooku du Aji. Mu ne ma Aji danga bugg a aar bi te danga ñu bugga. Aliou Badara is one of these artists yoo xam ne I can tell you Aliou knows me. I have spent days at Aliu. Like Aliu is my G. Tuki mota man ma mom like ñu ma artist yeb ñu ma wax ni aw ma ñom constant back and forth. But like I can tell you Jali is the artist abo xamne dañ dey wax a lot. But Aliu Badara the last time fan yele I was doing a joke with Gambian female artist ma bindako. Moko bindé mu message ma mu ré. Mu ne suñ xamone da nga réew dañ noppal sen mo mu ne billahi ma bu réew nga. Well, that is Aliu. Man, suma defé dar Aliu du ko jël personal because Aliu knows me. Aliu xam na ne aji dafa dof. Aliu xam na ne aji keewut. Aliu xam na ne aji li moo wax daf koo wax mu romba. Aliu xam na ne aji su baro taxawoon sax mu am lu moo wax baro daf ko wax. That's Aliu. Moo tax moom suma page bi suma bindee dara ma dee wax ne man suñ la xamoon dañoo noppal seen booba because suñoo wax sax di nga binda suñoo wax sax di nga def. That is how much he knows me. Aliu. What I don't like about Aliu. Dafa yabaate. Dama dey mën a sonal. Because Aliu daf ma yab. Dafa dee sonal. Aliu daf ma xam. So because of xam boobu noonu daf ma dee sonal. Li ma dee sonal du ma ko expliquer waaye daf ma dee sonal. And then who do we have again? Barhama. Barhama is one of the people that I love. And why I love Barhama is Barhama dafa down to earth. Barhama dafa bëgg gam music. Barhama dafa bëgg nit. Barhama dafa mun nitam. I remember last year, I was down in the beginning of the year. January is when they called me and said, hey, your mom is in a critical condition. February, February is when I started talking to Barhama because I love Barhama's music and we started talking on TikTok. From TikTok, we exchanged numbers. Then we started talking. And Barhama, I have so much respect for. And there were times that I was going through a lot. Man, I love music. And Barhama is one of my favorite artists. And I used to call him and I said, sing for me. I said this on a video before. Because I was going through a lot with my mom's sickness and they said he didn't know I was going through this or through that. And it went to a point wow. And I don't know, for some reason, maybe he knew I was going through a lot. He would call me time to time and check on me. He would send me a message and check on me. He was there. And look at my respect Barhama is at the time Barhama we were so close, then close on very close. We used to call each other constantly. Why? Musudma chase, Musudma chokas, Musudma wah bunyaw, Musudma wah come and naughty word, Musudma wah bo hamne come góor bu close ak jigen dina ko wax jigen. He is respectful when it comes to me. Like I've seen where Barhama is playing with other women and it's different with me. I don't know why. But man daf ma jox cër. And this is why I said so many men in this industry dañ ma jox cër. I have seen man gis naa ko muy foy again and chape di foy and jangay. I was like, oh, okay, he could be like this with other women. But man amut ak man rap bobu nonu. And what I like because dang dey gis ne yow nga nekk jigéen nga close ak góor bi daf dey mën a take advantage. And those were the most vulnerable times of my life. But I was vulnerable by then. But mom hamutone them vulnerable. It's later on I told him on one time, I don't know, see life or something like explain and that was what I was going through. And he was like, how comes Musula Mokowa? But Barham, Damadan Muna wara tukisa. Tuki ma call Barham neko mange joge Birmingham dem Scotland wait talima. Muneka si telephone bi wait talima ñu neka di wax be train bi manyaka am network ma buy ko then ma call ko. Why it was always about gam music, it was all about life, it was always about him talking about advising me, but one thing I love about Barhama tamit, musuma ko call bem wax lu ñaaw si benen Gambian artist, musuñoo waxtaan bam wax loo xam ne ndaka sudu noonu si ben artist. He's always about supporting artist bi, nekkal fa artist bele, and like you can do better with this artist. Hey, ki dafa munde. Barhama would always tell me the artist be ni, artist be la, artist be. Hey, artist be soko sokote. Hey, Gambian industry be ni. Like I have never ever like literally when I say I speak to Barhama then they muna wa 24 hours but munu mako di musuma ko diga mu wasi artist bo xamne comme ni lu ñaaw no always he is encouraging because Barhama I think that maybe if he listens to this I think that he feels that like I can do a lot when it comes to Gam music. So he was literally pushing me. I don't know what he saw about me. Maybe potential boom this all my def like fan la muna yobu artist or something. But he was always like, hey, no, nañ ko defé ni, nañ ko ni industry bi ni, you can do this, let's push this, let's kill. Dafa on nit ñi bena di mo wax ne hey, no, put it on Adama.
Oh, sorry.
Dafa on nit bena comme hey, kii ni, yow gis nga kii. Hey, dégg nga kii music am bi boy. Hey, oil key. Yo, danga tough. Hamulo key no mune. And especially regarding E. Barhama was one of these artists bo hamne. That put that over one. Hey, yo munga push E. Yo munga in the E. Yo munga support E. Hey, Aji, yo with you. Like Barhama was bringing the best in me for Gam music. And he would always tell me, Gam music, then la sohla boy Aji. Boy, like we can talk from, listen, Edinburgh, Birmingham, the first story. But we can talk halfway of it. The fact doc you call out Muneka do Gam music is indeed definitely like he used to structure me. I'm like man, I am the kind of person that says it. So like the conversations with me died down because I was mad at him, but that is me. I just feel that man ma Barhama, we are cool people. Like when I say I love Barhama, I love Barhama. And I got mad at him early this year because dama feel ne comme ne if Barhama's got a soul man war na muna neka ko xamne Adama close this door please comme dama ko mere and I'm not gonna lie man I told you people like what with Aji what you see is what you get and what I say is what is in me li tama mere Barhama moy last year dafa am show and bim amé show bi man ma mom ñoo nekk ci show bobu nonu like I love Barhama and I was like constantly making so bi come di ko check as a friend like so bi dañ ko make dafa first nit dañoo ñew like he introduced me to his little sister Mariam and I tend to love Mariam even more than I love Barhama. So I feel like the last year it was just me and him. You know, cause he's so bold, and I wanted the best for him, and I wanted to make sure that everything was okay. And this year, he left me out. Wow, come this year, I'm feeling okay. So Barhama de me benga hamne powara am so. Lima wasi kana mi adu na bibla ko because man umalahala. Auma luma ragal. I'm feeling this year so Barhama de because man I'm close at Barhama. So man de me Barhama wara muna am so. I just feel ne. Man war naa mun a bokk si ñoo xam ne first people ñoo xam ne Barhama mun na leen war a mun a contact ne Aji dama am so def si sa waala ma def si suma waala dem bam jeex so I just feel ne loolu mu mën a xari waaw dama bëgg a Barhama ba ii dafa xam ne dama bëgg a Barhama yeah even man suma génn sax if Barhama is not involved I don't want to go I just love the guy because Barhama is like man dama bëgg ko xam dafa positive Barhama dafa positive Barhama dafa bëgg lu baax like one thing I love about Barhama again he loves fashion and I did say man artist boo xam ne danga love fashion I love you and Barhama Cuba I love Cuba is my best song of Barhama so I got mad at him and I kept quiet ma nekk suma corner man suma mere kum suma waay duma dee wax I just keep quiet about it and then one time Maneka si life bo hamne nguduga si life bi and he was there. Now this is as where I didn't want to talk about the issue, but issue be wrong, but so be wrong. And I picked my phone and said, hey, you know what, Barhama, you offended me. Like I'm offended, lalawa. Because to the Alu Badara artist mun setan man Alu sa ame so yam calling mo wax mako dama mer. Because I've already said the things about me and him. I'll be offended. Because ñooñu den jege si man. Like I saw Ali watching. Ali, ñooñu dañ ma jege. Ñooñu nekkuñ like these are people like artists yi comme Ali ñooñu man pour man duñ gam music artists yi man. Ñooñu suma caameñ leen. Dafa am artistes yoo xam ne tey maa la wax ne ñooñu jaral naa leen xee. Mooy maa si ñoom Ali Badara bii. Because xam nga lu xew is deep. Like Come people like Manma Alu Badar artist is deep. People like Manma Barhama is deep. Because last year I had Barhama, but I am telling you now, I connected with the guy. So I got offended. And when I got offended, my neck was my side. Mata say mom see live, like Mover, Magin and you are Gisco, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna say this here. But then Manako, yo ya nekani, muna wow. And now I'm like, okay. And then I later told him, I said, you know what? Barhama, I'm offended when it comes to like your show because man Aji, and you know what? It is so funny where I told E, I'm gonna Barhama wahud masoyambi. And E is like, Gane? Anako, Barhama wahud masoyambi. E is like, no, that's not you and Barhama. I said, E, Barhama wahud masoyambi. And E was like, no, dinalakowa. And then I got more offended because then someone who is close to me sent I spoke to on the phone when hi Barhama mama send on message Instagram sa di ma was soyam. And now I'm offended, like extra offended. Oh Jan yo wakir gi la wow wax diga Alu Badara man walal yo xam nga ma man aw ma la aw ma har ma jaar te wax na len suma digantek yow du tay debala wow Alu yow sa affaire duñ ko wax because yow du suma yaay du suma ba yow du suma brother si du suma sister bi suma sister si mo boole yow waaye yow dama ko bañ be introduce la suma family yow dama la bëgga comme suma sister si nuñ ma bëggee suma sister si bëgga la more than man duma la bëggee yow da nga dem ba nga ne man mi la introduce sa family bi sax yow da ma dee pousse jël suma family pousse ma jël la so dafa am ñoo xam ne si bi Aliou war naa leen ko fi ne Aliou su gisee sax man ñu bindalu man dara si bi daf ko dee naxari te daf ma ko wax li real life ne ma Aji su ma gisee si internet bi sax ñu ne Aji daf ma dee naxari because suma waay nga so Barhama noonu la mel si man so you know what when I said this to him sooyam bi romba ma téye suma like sooyam bi bu mu jotee ma téye suma boppa dama feel ne ooyuñ ma te duma si dem waaw bi sooyam bi amee Mung don't send everybody regarding the soul. But I see people posting. Magis Mariama sent my a time and I posted it. And Soyambi, when you call live at the same day with Chronico Soyambi. And this is where Chronico picked his phone. Months before Chronico Munga setan. Munema Aji Manana, Munema Nam so, Munema Muganga Japasi. Manjisa man, so much hate rek Majola. Manakone Munema Aji Lucy Defco. Munema support also be. Manako muna wana bana Chronico album am bi jot bala album bi di drop te Chronico sa xamul ne mom ak ñom Barhama ak so yu bari ñoo xewon bes bobu if you guys can remember Chronico xamul ne sa daf don soyam bi bala mu ko wax so bi jëlangu date wa explain na ma everything ci sama dama de wone loma boole ma bok ci te man dof la Aliou yo xam nga lolu ba dara sadia yo xam nga ne Aji loko dugal dafa dem be jeex because man I like to win. Man, you see me like, man, I have potentials. I like to win. Man, I'm ambitious. Chronico, I can remember. I'm on them on an appointment. I was on the bus. I got a call from Chronico. Mumaseta. Artist bunek kanyo hamnen ma. Amu fensa. Mu call na Aji manena muna ma boy. Dama buga nga tiye si suma sobi ni akni. Sobi bum jote. Bala sobi mu send ma album ambi. I am one of the first people to listen to Chronico's album. Teli happen na artist. Wow, man, all my time. Artists yu bari, gis nga man, si music industry bi, artists yu bari dañ ma trust. Chronico, munoon naa wax ne, my manage to ma send project am. Because I'm not supposed to give Chronico's project pour déglu ko or any other artist that I am close to. But Chronico that must send his whole project ma déglu ko. And which artist again? Sehu Yafa. Sehu Yafa is an artist bo xamé daf ma send project am. Ñom mu ma seta, o dina ma seta. Sehu Yafa is one artist bo xamne trust on na enough to send me his project. I'm not the manage ma déglu project bi. Mu ne ma jox ma reviews. I didn't have the time to get back to him. YD is the third artist bo xamne olu na ma olu bo xamne mota man dama len de wax ne man nitu ñoma de setan noise su joté ñuy noise ñuy wax ñuy dof-doflu man artist yi dañ am respect for me. Man artist yi dañ am olute for me. Man to me am na yenn artiste yoo xam ne comme Aliou Badara yow soo gisee ma def dara si internet sax ne man amal dañuy ñu am time pour Aji gis nga Sehu Yafa Chronico YD these are the three artists yoo xam ne dañ ma send project and when they send me their project I was proud and I was happy because, and then this is me thinking, okay, I'm not artist yo hamne ne mangi manage E regardless, and they know that E is an artist, and man hamna mbiri artist num de me ki wato deglo songi ki te genu ki wato li fini te ñi am nañ olu tamit aji du ko playal kele du ko, and I am telling you Chronico Sehu Yafa YD send project kuñ ma set Ibu Ñaasi na setan li musuma tok sa best song bi mané Ibu Ñaasi ne hey song bi dafa dox people like Chronico whole album bi la ma set I deglu fa ben song munoon naa nekk si beneen téléphone sa playal ko song si benn song déglu ko because man soo ma óoloo li gën a jege si man sax du ko dégga te du ko déglu Aliou yoo xam nga ma ñooñu sax I sax déglu ko I just said to him ne because bëgguma mu feel ne comme maybe maa ngi am yenn interaction ne ak yenn artist behind his back and while I'm managing him because I think it's fair enough and I like to be transparent with him. I just said to him ne Chronico, say we have a send project can be I was with him. So I just said to him the Chronico send them an album why did I more come send them money for them. So he was like, oh really? I was like, it was good, I'm good. And then with Chronico, he even asked me, say album. I was like, yeah, it was lit because I loved the album. So Lolo Motorhorn, like to the Barhama, I was mad at him. But man, Sumala Mere, I picked my phone, I tell you, I said I'm mad. I told Barham, I said, I'm mad at you. Mulad Mama Espinako. And then let me tell you his explanation. And I get it. Him, when I told him, he said, Aji, he said, Mom, the fat also disappointed in me. And I was like, how are you disappointed in me? And Barhama said to me, Aji, yo, suma alel sa alella, suma hew sa hewla, suma hewle. Yo, warlo harko o sa tur Aji. Because yo, suma hew sa boss la te suma hewle dama expect de bala ma wasa yo ya wara dem beje. And this is where people have misunderstanding, and this is where people miscommunication, that they in the misunderstanding. Wow. Because man, when I told people, man, I don't hold grudges. Pamoko defe la ko waxe fofu la ñoo xexe fofu la ñoo amé problème fofu la ñoo bayante fofu la ñoo jëlante bedé. And mom mu ne ma mom so gisee mom fiilu di need pour attaquer téléphone am pour wax mako feel na ne man wayam bo xamne la man waruma xaar di wax ma waxam mu wax ma xewam. But then again man tamit I feel the other way round ne mom su waré am si lu mo duga sa man ma wara aha before ma faté Barhama is the fourth artist bo xamne deglu na project am bala project bi di drop. Again kon xam ngeen ne koku dama close ak mom Barhama daf ma o ma ñew be taxaw mu ne ma taxawal ma taxaw mu play project am mu ne ma lo foxy project bi mu play ko ma deglu ko manako oh wow. He was like so because artist yi xam ne man dama bëgg so music mu ne ma so happy rek xam na ne lu baax la ma deglu project bi kon koku dañ close. So mom mu ne mom si xewle man waruma xaar kuma o. But then man I don't do like that. Man dama expect ne Barhama bala muy xewle sa dafa oote Aji mané na mu ne mané dugal ñu def bam je te dama dem beje. So this is where he mané ko suma side suma way la mané ko suma side man dem quiet. Man I tell people man am gis nga man dama bokka STG ko man suma méré duma day wax Aliou xam nga lolu because suma waxé la dafa am certain people yo xamne dañ dé tollu ci man fo xamne buguma ñu dégga lu ñaaw ci man sax ma nekk suma site mu message ma mu ne ma Aji ma ne naa mu ne ma dama seet waaye waxoon naa ko how I feel but then ma tiis ma booba mu ne ma dama seetlu ne lii ak lii moo am after suma classic O2 bi ma ne ko Barham mu ne ma ne ko man duma dee pretend I told you how I feel and you don't understand how I feel and I don't understand where you are coming from. So mu apologize ma. If I feel the same way still, Mom, he will never change when it comes to me. He loves me and he will always love me. And then time to time, man, I stopped back and forth, like calling and being, because like when I'm mad at something, I'm mad at something. And man, they take time to my give her. So time to time, they want to say, I remember last weekend, send them a message, when I was Assalamu alaikum, Aji, num to that. Man la nuyu, man la said, man ge wane hi. Like, he was just checking on me in a very nice message, and he said, have a good day. So when he did that, man, he went live, and I was even live with E, and I was telling E, oh, but how buys my fair. So after my read message, And then I replied him like, I'm okay, I'm good, thanks. But then again, that does not mean that man mamo swing relationship be ended there. No, it haven't. Dama mer, and I need some time pour yep mo die down. And I think that is something that he's not gonna repeat again. Because yo, mi ma setan o kuy setan si no, why aji lolu jalul mer de dedet suma nit la. Man dama mun suma nit te dama bu bëgg nekkal suma nit. I just that show should have been man ak Barhama ñu door ko mu jeex. So lolu la ko mere. Ana de aji nu beure problème. Wa degal man problème. Every day you problem ko. And who is next? Big Faa. Okay, let me say what I don't like about Barhama. What I don't like about Barhama is Barhama does not take me serious. Like suma mere Barhama, ma ite ko suma telephone. Because Barhama dafa xamne dama ko buga te dama buga music am. Barhama does not take me serious. Ma ko mere ma call pour display. Dam suma ne Barhama rek mu ne ma aji jana rek mu commencé di ma woyal, and now I'm weak. When he sings, I'm weak. And that's what I don't like about Barhama. He knows my weakened points, and he knows that if he sings, I'm happy. And he just does that to weak me. Because I'm a very problem. Then he does that, I'm thinking. And the next one is Big Faa. Faa. Jinga Faa, so never to see Lisbia. Doing deaf life. Big Faa. Big Faa. What I love about Big Faa is entertaining. Big Faa. Man, Faa makes me laugh. I am the kind of person man gaaw ma get entertained. It's not everyone that makes me laugh. Everyone is not my cup of tea. And every entertainer does not make me laugh. Mun nga nek entertainer bo xamne comme man, I have a very dry sense of humor. Man, I can make people laugh. I can crack jokes and all of that. But man, pour nit entertain ma. No. I am not easily entertained. But Big Faa, as soon as Big Faa starts saying something, then he just cracks the shit out of me. Then the Faa is someone that I can sit with all day, the rare. Just got like, and one thing I like about him, Tamit, Faa, like I said, man, artist bo hamne, small communicator, yo, communicate be is easy peasy. I like that. With Faa, if I need Faa, today neka Faa, do mo ko di neka lo hamne sa mo ko need. But si neka lo hamne communication and I message Faa, oh mo call ma, I say what I have to say, and then because artists here, don't get me wrong, my communication with them is nothing personal. It has nothing to do with personal. This and that and that and that, the same thing. So Big Faa, what I love about Big Faa is not even much. And I can tell you, Big Faa is one of my favorite artists in the Gambian music industry. I love Big Faa. Big Faa dama ko buga. Faa dama ko buga be. I can call like Faa just to laugh. Faa dama ko buga be dama ko de caricature. Like I just think the Faa is so like people don't see that funny. I don't know. They get Faa, like he's just funny. Man lola like but Faa dama ko buga be I'm obsessed with Big Faa. That's how much I love Big Faa. Like I always said, some of these artists, they can be very controversial, but they understand the man lawa. Man suma rapo ak ñom lool la nek di wax. Not everybody else. Because somebody else can listen to and say, Aji, Big Faa dafa dof de wa dega dafa dof wéru. Man sa dama dof wéru ma. So man ñu dof ñi comme Big Faa ñom fula gangster. ñooñu la dé bëgg ñu dof ñi. And there is where we will come to add to. So after Big Faa, I don't see anything law have come I don't like about Big Faa. No, I just love Faa. I just love Faa in a package. So if you're gonna definitely have the man like Umako, I picked my phone and said, hey Faa, you've done this and I don't like it. That's me with the Gambian artists. I just do that. And who do I have next? Is Chronico. I can tell you Chronico is one of my favorites too. I've got favorites. More than when people ask me, can I make a favorite Gambian musician? I'm like, I don't even know. I'm confused in my head. Chronico, look at my like moy. Chronico, the appreciative. I have worked with Chronico, and he looked at my efforts and he said, thank you. And Chronico is one artist, Bohamne. He randomly messaged me and said, hey, how are you? Yangi okay? Because I just feel ne Roman for hamne. Aji the father talk so host like I don't care. because soko said lot tamit dama len fa day nekkal ñomit ñu nekkal ma for times that they need me. If they wake me up, I do it. Sometimes it's even difficult because nga wara dem liggéey nekk di satisfy artist yi, and there is no artist Gambia bam daj yep ku musa ñëw si aji mané la fayma amut. Where I'm not a promoter, I tell people, man, I'm not a promoter of gam music, but then again I try. Ben Gambian artist to la wax ne gis nañ fi pages yoo xam ne dañoo charge Gambian artist yi. Man gis naa fi ay pages yoo xam ne sax mun naa la contact ne la hey dafa drop a new song ndax do you mind me sending you the project pour nga post ko nga ne ma dangaa fay. But man, lolo does not discourage me pour man ma charge Gambian artist yi. You see, man, what I say is, man, I don't want to take from them, I want to give them. There is no Gambian artist industry bi bam that yep ak luñ ma dee gis ma post. If you're watching this and you think that, oh okay, do my contact Aji as because of my project, because hate that of my charge. There is no Gambian artist. Now, this is why I tell you, if you want me to do a certain video for you, you have to pay me. But Ben Gambian artist ñëwut pour si man mu ne ma Aji support ma Aji di Aji nele suma project bi suma nii suma nele postal mali dropal mali promotal mali ma la fay ma. No, Ben Gambian artist. Hey, man, Gambian music moo ma ñor. Te man, I love gam music. Te when I say I love gam music, I love everyone. Man, just man, that's why I said I'm on my platform, no beef song is gonna be posted here. Man, ma keewul ban artist moo jotee ban artist seen musique yooyu ngeen bifante du loo ko post because man duma jëm dimbale benn artist mu xeex benn artist su ma yoon nekku seen problème bi dem leen ngeen bifante ngeen defarante musique waaye du ma ko post because man dama am mutual love with them. They respect me, I respect them. They love me, I love them. You cannot deal with me, I cannot deal with you. Munuñoo dem te yàlla def na moo tax ma def góor ñi because yàlla def na man góor ñi yàlla ma connect ak ñoom waaye man leenal about me man I always connect with men more than women. Te like in the industry I have had so much where they said men in the industry, I don't know who and who I don't know. They said men in the industry do abuse women, men in the industry do harass women, men in the industry do sexualize women. And I say, man, I haven't encountered men in the industry. Musician, producer, jaykati cassette bi, agenda kati cassette bi lala wane. Every man in the industry, man encounter uma ken kuma wawahi yabate. One. Encounter ma ken ku demak man si demini yabate. Two. Encounter ma ken ko hamne defna nakasulud nonu ak man. I'm not saying that amut fade. But happenut ak man because sangali yow man maa leen may platform boobu pour ñu def ko ak man because respect la musique la ma def talk show ma def li ma def ngeen def li ngeen a def ma li xoolal su ma waxtaan ak yéen regarding li ngeen a def la comme la ka said Swiss is the only artist boo xam ne mun nañoo waxtaan sax about healthy things, death, how we treat death, mental health. We talk about social things about life and how hard life is. But I believe that like we all have a stopping point. But pare, hey that ñom xam nañ ne ki dof la. Aji dof la. Aji soko harassé dina ñëw ci internet mu oturi. Man, xam nga the thing with me is like I'm not the kind of person that will sit and say, oh, Gambian music industry bi góor yi dañ dee harass. No. I'm not doing that. Because if you say that, xam nga ñaata góor ñoo nekk ci industry bi. Ñoo pa jigéen ñi. It's male dominated. If you say that you're including every man under the same umbrella, that's not Aji. Man, if you harass me, I will come online and call your name and say, diw sangam, mama harass, musi industry bi, harass katla, diw sangam, mama sexualize, musi industry bi, that they sexualize women. This sangam, mama defli, musi industry bi, more de defli. Ma Aji la ma de mati dama nelo. Kuy mer. Ñuy saga ñuy def suma yoon nekk ci fekk man li ma wax na ko te xam naa li ma wax moo tax man du ma sos. I tell people man du ma koo xam ne damaa ñëw di xuloo di wax ne diw sangam mu ne diw sangam moo wale non damaa wax sa tur bu pet dama xoola man maa nekk Facebook live boo xam ne su ma waxee rek ñi teen di xam ne kii lu mu wax mooy dëggat foofu leer na ko teg du ma xuloo di sos du ma wax di sos moo tax when people talk and chat I keep quiet because I know what I know and I keep quiet. So more than man, all of these guys in the industry, they say they harass, but they are there. Why do you connect ak man? Because yabuñ ma yabuma leen yabaate doxuñ si diggante man dama de wane jigéen tamit am na foo xam ne foofu ngay tooloo góor am na foo xam ne foofu ngay dem ak góor am na ñu si yabaate tamit waaye yabaate doxu suma diggante ñoom because am na ñoo xam ne tamit soo nekkee jigéen dañ laa ne hey nekka jigéen si any industry moo gën a métti loo gis any industry boo gis nekka fa jigéen moo gën a métti but you know one thing about me man xeexkat la man challenge kat la man dama dema góor yi nekk ma ne Iñaa si sa moo la de wax ne bugguma problème yi aji dafa bari problème moom loolu la de wax soo waxee aji ni mu ne bugguma problème yi aji moom laay fat daari daf la ko def su ma lifine sax dafa ne bugguma problème moom straight away he tells me bugguma problème because ma ne woon suma problème du deejee big si laa dem big si moo def big si soo waxee mu ne danga bari problème aji nga ne doo bàyyi danga dem ba dem ay man góor moo fi xaraa si industrie bi dama taal sama life ma oola nga ñëw góor bu ma sense anything dis nga dofuñ di nga góor yi tamit seen dof yi xam nañ fi ñu ko dee yóbbu jigéen ñi tamit xam nañ fi ñu dee yóbbu seen dof yi because man I am not that crazy to go to any of these men to chat nonsense loo xam ne doxul suma digganteeg ñoom te kenn du la si wax ne am naa aji waxtaan boo xam ne it's not regarding gam music or something xanaa maa jàlli suñu waxtaan ak yooyu noonu jeex na but you like man I believe ne jigéen am na fooy emale sa boppa góor am na fooy emale sa boppa especially when it comes to harassment man I tell people man soo ma gisee si caméra bi I joke a lot but in reality I am a no nonsense woman man bugguma yebaate so moo tax most of them loolu noonu du am suma diggante ñoom Chronico what I like about him Chronico dafa appreciative and Chronico su dee julli la sa julli daf ma personally message aji nakam ma ne ko maa ngi fine mu ne ma ne comme Eid Mubarak mu ñaanal ma to be I'm not gonna lie mu ngi setaan mu ñaanal ma and Chronico is one person boo xam ne xam nga tudda naa fi ay nit but I didn't say this about them Chronico is a fan of aji do you know what I mean Chronico moom dafa bëgg a aji moom xam nga comme Gambian musicians yi yéen da ngeen di nekk a fan of Gambian musicians yéen da ngeen di nekk a fan of me Chronico is a fan of me moom dafa bëgg a AgiesCorner moom he loves my personality he loves me as a person Chronico just loves me he enjoys my video Chronico video bu ma def moom daf ma like moom daf ma bëgg a boppam di nga gis ne Chronico if I create content sax danga dee mën a gis ne daf dee mën a share suma content si because moom moo bëgg a aji and like time to time nii maybe suma WhatsApp bi sax suma rante about something he will message me and said hey sis mu ngi cool nii ak nii yeah definitely because yesterday I was even writing about people giving out my number to ñoo xam ne like and because I always say this ñun Gambians si lu normal leen dee def like you don't ask people before you give their numbers and I was ranting about that I think day before yesterday and he messaged me and like tried to calm me down and said hey come calm me down as a brother as someone Chronico man loolu moo tax ma like ko moom moo ma bugga comme it's not like ne mbiri Gambian artist la moom Gambian artist la public figure la nii naa dugga sama dia he just loves me and he just loves AgiesCorner naturally so that's what I like about Chronico and after Chronico ñu am Antu Sparky now Antu is someone koo xam ne before I said this I didn't dig much about Antu or demuma much into his music career because why like I said about Singate it's the same thing I'm gonna say about Antu because I just when I listened to Respecto I didn't like this song before my talk I don't like this song I don't like Respecto and yesterday I told him we were on a video call I told him because I want soxla si moom ma call ko and then bu ma ko waxee mu nekk ni yuuxu booy aji nii moom aji ko nii la kaana la faala Antu is one artist tamit that does not take me serious yeah Antu is one artist boo xam ne bu ma déggee Respecto I don't know Antu but then I know ne he is from Talinding I'm from Talinding and Respecto was so popular the video went viral because of Respecto I wouldn't dig much about Antu. I don't want to know much about Antu. What I don't like about Respecto, more than my if you're a sensitive artist, man, don't wanna dem ak man. Because I tell you the truth. And what I do is not many people that would do it. but I tell the artist again, like you can do something aduna bi yeb buga ko kenen du ko buga. Yo sama papa nit ñi yeb mën nañ la buga kenen du la buga. Man no, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Not everyone likes me. And I like that because man I tell you like gis nga man ñoo buga ñoo de nek sama problem. Because then I am having difficulties to love back. But then if you don't like me, I don't give a tuss about you. Respecto, I don't like this song. And from a talk ni bete, I don't like this song. And this is where Gambians wouldn't agree with me. But man, small opinion lawa, like how I feel about this song. Because I just feel the song is what would I say? The fayara deko. Song be respecto, I don't like the fact ne buguma to the word be. Man like uma saga. Man abaneka du come ne buguma saga. But people love this song. And you that love this song, I like the fact that you love this song. Because Respecto made Antu who Antu is. Because that song, like listen, when my niece, one of my nieces, Antu my favorite artist. And then I will get angry if I have to call my niece and then I want to talk about something. Muge way Antu be. And then, this is where he loves the song. Now, I will call E, and then E will be listening to Respecto. I'm like, oh my God. Can you please bloody put that thing off? Why are you listening to that song? And then, Hariti Ebi, numtu dafa hamne like my song. So the day har rex mo call rek mu Respecto ye rek mu budi. Rek mani E, oh my God, do we have to do this again? And at some point, I don't like Respecto. And from last year, E was like, Indil Antu si hot sit be boy. No, some artist be Antu. Don't go indi. Because some and I remember one time, man, ma hulo, hulo busafsa. Manoko bulma hati wa Respecto. Bulma wa his song be. So mo ko hati then jote. Like he was like, hey, tanga indi Respecto. Because he was doing that to annoy me because I don't like when I say I don't like Respecto, I don't like the song. And Antu Smawel. He's one of the people that I love in the industry. But I kept telling him every day, neighbor, whenever. But I don't like Respecto. But I didn't handi. Iba like handi. But again, man like masaga. More than like mako. And I feel like suka kenen de way, muy saga day. That's not for me. Like umalo. Like Respecto kuko way sumakanamsa. Because like man just man saga day that they sent a shock in my brain. Like what did I just hear? Moto 2016 belegi man's internet why musulena dig of adita hay musaga day. Because no, that's a no-go area for me. And if it's saga and they saga kill if a saga and it's not. So that's the reason why I don't like Respecto. And don't get me wrong, this is me. Man loud. And I will genuinely tell you about how I feel about the song. But then again, that does not stop me from loving Antu. Now, this is where everyone says Antu is a controversial artist. He is. He's a bloody controversial artist. Everyone knows about that. Antu. If Antu is not in this, Antu is in that. Antu is in that. Antu is in that. But now, how I fell in love with Antu. Antu's manager is one of the coolest people in the industry. Now, this is where I said, yalla they wanna mix and blend. Like, man, I can do a review on managers and I can do a review on artists. I can do a review on DJs. Like, because the mademuna interaction and all of these people constantly. Because Antu's manager, even yesterday, day before yesterday, come constantly like they will have fun so. Wow, because man like my day I'm sohla si artist be maromba sa manager them. Even if man Antu, we talk. But even if I have to, if small hair Antu dara, I go back to Fansu, my update because like my day disrespect people. So Antu's manager Fansu made me fell in love with Antu. Gis nga mota lolu moy liggéey manager. Excuse me, nga jaay sa artist niti jënda ko. Now, even though I don't like Respecto, I tend to love Antu because of Antu's manager. Now, been the face Sobi before Sobi man best of the best drama bi. Best of the best drama bi. Dafa feka mota dama de wane nit ñoo de ciow ne aji mo invite artist bi definitely why daf de feka coincident la. Best of the best bi dafa feka ciow bo bala muy am fekam Antu mu ngi wara ñew sama Sobi. Man ko invite already. Then Pa Jawara mu ngi wara ñew after best of the best bi so lolu ñoo am den mu ñoo nekk lo xamne well you know what this has happened, let's talk about it. So man suma interaction ak Antu mu ngi start si suma life bobu nonu ak mom, but then manager Antu bi dafa am pour take ma through to understand who Antu is as a person. And man, I'm a keen listener. And man, I have the heart to love. When he told me there is similarity of like the emotions that Antu is going through, I went through when I lost my dad and when I lost my mom. So I had to travel through Antu's brain, Antu's mind, Antu's emotions. And I know everything that he's going through is emotions. And then I had to see how Antu performs, how he gets emotional, how he controls his emotions. And then I get to understand Antu as a person because I have worked with people, they have emotional emotional issues, they have mental health issues, they have depression issues like mental health because depression is all of that, it's under mental. They have anxieties. I have people that have paranoia. I have worked with people for over 5 years. With people they went through stress, emotional living therapy, I was there to be their therapist and all that. So I could relate to Mata Antubum Joye Suma Sobi. I knew like he cried because he feels like me. I am going through a lot and there's a lot inside me, like emotions that sometimes I can't even vent. I don't know like who understands what I'm going through, who gets me, who connects with what I'm going through. So with Antu, I connected with Antu through his emotions because when his manager spoke to me, I'm like, okay, now I get this point of it. So still I understand Antu. And then after you see man, the man diga. Suma sobi, I had to tell Antu the truth. Mawako diga, musinkin. Because like with people like Antu, I can relate. So I know how to talk to Antu. Even Deba, bako call. But Antu, danyo beef wala na kundi beef. My boy, Aji by problem. You see like Antu soko call ngane ko Aji. If I say bala mga call ma Antu, dama ko sohla di su call if they were in. Aji molo yoni, imu ko am ko he bukuma problem am. Bukuma problem Aji si search because Antu hamna dafa problematic man dama problematic. Le ñu ñaar suñ problem munta nek problem. We cannot be problems. Because ñu ñaari problem. So like one thing I like about Antu, regardless of Antu being the most like when I say Antu is controversial, he is. We have to just say the truth. But then Antu man daf ma respect. After that show, I see he interacts with me. Sumako call if I speak to him. That there is where we connected. Now don't get me wrong. I don't like Respectful, but I like Antu. And Antu's got more songs like Do Masilo and all of that. I love those songs. But not Respectful. And even Smafi Joge, Somalaji Elik, Damalahne, I don't like the song. Because of the lyrics of the song, I cannot like the song. And that is me. Because not every person would sit here and say, oh, I don't like this song. And listen, if that song was a song of E that I'm managing, I would tell him, I don't like the song. And I will tell you guys, like, oh. Because like Masagami. And somebody else would tell you, I don't like the song. But somebody else would tell you, the whole Gambia would tell you, I love the song. So that is it with Antu. And like what I don't like about Antu, I just don't like the fact that sometimes his emotions get him carried away. Like, do they want to control his emotions? Like, he get carried away when the emotions are all over him. But then, like I said, with emotions, I always say, like Gambia, you don't get help. But then with emotions, because at some point, I had to go for emotional therapy. Pour mamuna control my emotions. Because at some point, me, myself, not relate to Antu. Me, myself, there were times where I lost my parents. But then I had to, like, my emotions were everywhere. Munumako control. So I had to go for emotional therapy. I was even telling Fansu the other day. Because feeling is easy. Because then you sit on the phone, because it was a talking therapist. I used to sit on the phone, and then the therapist will call me and we will go through my emotions and we will talk about it. If I have to cry over my emotions, I cry over my emotions. So mandamade muna relate to Antu, and then he will tell you when I lost my dad, when I lost my mom, when I this, when I that. So he's got his own thing going on there. So like there's a beauty in Antu. And what I like about Antu is he is like his inner child comes out. Like somebody Antu, like it's like I'm talking to a child. Because then like Antu somebody can telephone me, they're over happy. Like, hey boy Aji, boy ni. But like he does not take me serious moment. Antu dama ko nekk di wax suma fula fayda sama man yonel halis bul ma rey ak wax yone ma halis suma weef bi mu ngi ni dugal lo fa halis nga ma rey ak wax. So like you can get like I just feel that people like him, there's a way that you connect with him, there's a way that you can talk to him, and like he can feel it, but then they have their emotions and their moods. And when because when I called him yesterday, yesterday, he was in bed. And then when I called him, and he normal call like a call, mom call my video call. Then munema, boy Aji, no mangi di teda di relax, like he was down. When I called him, he was down because he spoke to me and he was down. And what we spoke about is personal, but he spoke to me, he was down. He's comfortable to talk to me and he was down. And then the next minute, Anto is everywhere. Mugena the top because I am on the phone video call. Muneka the top. Didn't feel boy Ajini. Hey, boy Ajini. I'm like, oh my God, this Anto. Like his inner child comes out, and then like I can tell you, Anto plays a lot. Now there four. Like more than one day, get to know them. You see the good, the beauty of them, because ñun ñep doomi adama ñun ñep emuñ. Like man, when I look at Antu, I look at an artist bohamne. He is going through a lot, and his music is his therapy. Music is therapy for him. Is where he vents, and is where he says everything that is in his chest. And sometimes he feels like it doesn't matter how I say it, but I'm just getting off the things in my chest, because there is where therapy comes and counseling comes in. Between people in Europe, because mota manama de wane they not consider sen Gambian musicians, because to nekute Antusa Kenen is going through a lot. And I tell people they not consider people around you. We've got city things going on in our lives. Behind the camera there are something lo hamne mun last stress, lo hamne mun last so de why ñun duñ de halate non ñun just Gambian musician. This is why I tell people sometimes I have to go out, and then as a public figure dama am pour smile all day because people are saying hi AgiesCorner nga def aji ni du gonna feel something. I struggled. Gis nga si Birmingham weekend bi Safi daf ma ko ma jaañ ma ne na ma ne smile al ma ne ko Jaay, I'm tired. Mu ne, but Jaañ, you have to do it. Everyone is literally saying aji nanga def, but you can't even smile. I'm like, this is in the evening, like 7, 8. I'm like, guys, I've been smiling and saying hi whole day. I'm tired. I need a time off from it. And then Munotuma smile, sister. Like, even when those are the times when I was even trying the plastic smiles, they're not coming out because I'm knackered. So they're difficult. So this is why I said even our Gambian musicians, then they struggle. This one Gambian musician, buneka comes to ame chow si internet, man damade halaki nakala neka dinela wetay. Or what is going through with them. Man damade muna consider Gambian musicians a lot. Because I am managing a Gambian musician. And I can tell you a lot. Like, even with my musician, I can tell you a lot. That he's got his moments. He's got his moments. And Gambian musicians, I am telling you, they have their moments when music is like, fuck it, I'm not doing it anymore. Sorry for the word. They like, I'm not doing it anymore. And they will tell you this. It's like a stress, a burden in their head. Because when just like you live a normal life, amuñ problem, amuñ lugo. While you ne fuck ne, mun ka dis Gambian musicians amut romba di la wahu di dem. Fekk bopam bi nek lo xamne mu ngi normal. So this is where I find Antu. I love him. I don't like Respectful, but I love him. And I just feel there is a nice place in him, a soft place in his heart. And I feel like he's one of the kindest people. Like, man, sometimes if I want something from Antu, I'm like, Antu, boy, do I have to pay for this? Boy, Aji, boy, luta nga war ma pay, boy. Aji, luta, Aji, yalo niya ponyo ko iben jula libe problem o sota kanan jo. Like, sometimes, like, come no man adware, damane am si artist is solo. And then, tomorrow Antu, boy, damana buga fay, Antu is like, boy, Aji, boy, Aji, boy, can I stop? So that is the koku, I'm no law hamne, munchi mo am law hamne. It's nice about him, man. Like I said, I'm not gonna be judgmental. Like when Antu starts his madness, I told his manager, man, I'm gonna dead of the. Put him on the phone. If he starts, I'm like, Samsu, connect ko. And then he connects him. Aji, for body problem. So there is where I just love Antu, to be honest. And don't get me wrong. I don't like respect. And some of the big public, President Barroso, small one, so so we come to who? Jizo. Someone asked me a question about Jizo earlier on. Jizo, lutama like ko. Jizo, one thing I like about Jizo Moy, last year, if you guys can remember, I did a live video, but was regarding Jizo, how he does not communicate good with talk show hosts and people that needs him. And then the video went viral. That's Aji. So Neguton Jizo, an artist, I would have done the same thing. And that video was regarding Jizo like our Gambia, if you guys can remember, because don't go fate. The internet be dig hard putting fate. The video went viral. And Jizo just nako. Setan nako. Fans ami just nenko. Setan nenko. Manager ma follow. Just nako. Setan nako. Excuse me. What I like about Jizo Moy, the video went viral. His fans went mad. His fans were trumping on the internet. The binda, the attack, and the one the news is a so do force, do for nyo, ki do lifini, dengan munini, sa platform bobo ki do for nyo, ki nele, wow, yanko force, nina, do gonna feel it like people were talking like when I said the internet was lit. It was lit. Some of them were attacking me to the point that they would go on Instagram and tag me. Why hanga ajibu digir boba. Nang ma tag Instagram sa ma hol ko be gis na yola wala lol ma melni gisuma ko wala ma am luma wara post Instagram sa ma post something lo xamne is not even regarded da xamna ñu ne ki bi la ki amu deret. Listen man, I don't when I speak and I off my camera ñu ci dess suñ bëgge mer ñu mer awa problème ak lool. But if you let me speak and I bring out those emotions in you, then that's your problem. If you want tag AgiesCorner, listen, if you ask ST, he would tell you that's Agi. She fights. Hey, D, if ladle ST, I'm going to have artists you bari legally ma commencé di setan. Listen, what I like about Jizo, chobi ne karapsi internet bi ku neka di wa AgiesCorner la do gonna pele samati. I have seen where people were coming at me, the saga, the deflu neka. Deguma a word from Jizo. Ma talk right. Now, ma talk internet bi ja. Wana ma yena de dof si public bi diwa. Why you miss industry bi ñun xamantene to dofuñ. They just when people chat shit outside, man, fake artist be waxut, artist be body be waxut. I look at it like man duma wax because you dofuñ. Ma talk randomly. I received a message from I think says Salam Muna, and then Munema Jizo is coming to the show. Arrange nako, asking at it, and then I appreciated it. So ma jël ndombam bi ma call we arrange the date. So na ma ko message or call you arrange a date, and then mu pick a date mu ñew ci show bi. What I like about him is, regardless of what people were saying, Jizo need a platform bi, Jizo big artist la, Jizo ni, Jizo nele, ni di saga, ni di tag, ni di def ni di def nele, yep. The guy looked at it and said, you know what, I'm going to say bene artist dafa ne to the platform bi, then you for disrespect them for them. Then I'm not disrespect. Because Jizo hamna luma wa degala si mo. Because Jizo hamna ne aji genu rek mu wax. Dofut. Waaw dofut. Mo da may la yeen ay dof why artist yi dofuñ ñom ñep dañ ma dé sétan. There is no Gambian artist bu nekk Gambia te duma dé sétan. Amut benn la wax. Ngeen nekk di wax rek. Ngeen nekk di binda, ngeen nekk di saga, ngeen fogg ne because loolu ngeen def fop. So len sagé man dama stop. So len tagé man dama stop. Ngeen attack ma man dama stop. Yeen loolu ngeen def fogg ne ki suñ ko defé dafa stop. And you know what? Man dama digir boppa. So len defé loolu man dama dé gëna dof, dama dé gëna pain. Dama dé gëna taxaw ba pare. Because man I'm challenging. Ask me people that knows me. Like ma li ba dar artist ay na yet dole ma man dama def dama pare loolu moo ma dee nee sax because xam naa ne it is easy to control your emotions man neexuma yëngal suma pencil bi boobu laa doon bindee liste bi man neexuma yëngal man I have a very thick skin bay sama saage dama ko leexoon ma ne kii warut because danga fene saaga mama because xam nga yéen Gambian bi benn mooy problème Gambian mënut a communicate yéen man mun naa taal suma life ma communicate ma wax Jizzle lu ma ko wax waaye yéen mënu leen ko because yéen da ngeen dee foog ne pour stop kooku da ngeen war a saaga and there is where you have communication issues because yéen mënu leen a put across anything loo xam ne make na sense because doo leen dee am sense amu leen any argument to argue what I said sensibly. I have sense to come and say what I have to say sensibly. Sagumako, hasumako, dugumako, wahumako lumako, but I said the truth and off my camera. So legi yen gen fog ne saga wale na saga, attack wale na attack, def wale na defa stop aji. Man sila de gena content sa because you know what? You help me give me drama. I'm gonna ko dramatic, nga joko drama. She gets happy. What to bobula de sma xarit mu ngi ni Aida. What to bobula de tëdd si internet fi sma ko lal bi ma nekk si internet. Dama de rebe bu ka sebenu. maa ngi lekk suma ice cream ba pare man suma dee téye suma téléphone bi di ree laajal ma ñu ma xam laajal ma big si ba ma dee wax mu ne ma xam naa lu gaay di def nii yëpp laa ji da nga dof mu ne ma yaa ngi ko enjoy maa ngi enjoy maa ngi ree ma dégg ñeneen di binda ñeneen di wax maa ngi ree rek that is where I respected Jizzle regardless of all of that nonsense people yu wane nii dut internet bi nii dut plateforme nii dut ne Jizzle moom artiste la man mi xam music moom mu xam music moom xam na ne dafa soxla internet bi daf ko soxla dafa soxla soosi dañ ko soxla it's vice versa waaye xam nga yéen moo dama doon ne dafa am 2019 xale yi ak 2022 xale yi ak 2020 ñoo xamuñ music ñeenay sax duñ dee setaan duñ dee xam ñoo ne dee dégga job ñu ne how high am na ñoo xam ne xeet noo di ñoom seen xel yi dafa am fuñ ko fàtte there is why I respected Jizzle geedut amul lum si wax amul lum si def mu ñëw si show bi ñu waxtaan mu acceptaat suma invitation bi mu ñëw ñu waxtaan mu dem and there is why I also respected Jizzle's manager coone kurup Jizzle manager mu message ma awa xaw ma ko musuma wax ak moom musuma koo dégga Jizzle daal wax na ne manager bu jigéen la am I don't even know ma jékki-jékki AgiesCorner fii awa binda ma message bu gudda as Jizzle's manager no awa du nit waay Jizzle yow soo change manager man maa yow dañ am problème awa binda ma message bu gudda bu emotional and encouraged me as a woman and supported me as a woman and told me that she is always there as a woman. She knows how hard it is to be a woman in the industry. Can you imagine? Yeah, nonsense people. Yeah, na record this saga di dof Jizzle manager mo message ma. Mo da may leen so leen gisee man so leen seen nonsense man duma dee génn maa dee wax because man xam li si ron man xam naa ko ma toog ma noppi ma bàyyi leen. Mo da may leen yéen a dee xeeb AgiesCorner waaye man xeebuma suma bopp. Manager was one of the nicest people. And then from there is where I connected with Awa. I respected Awa. And I like heart of Awa. Like I salute that lady. Because regardless of what was said and what was done, and artist being yo, mom si bopa mo message ma. Awa is, I don't know. Awa is just, she's just beautiful. That's what I have to say. Man, fofula I respected Jizzle. And I met Jizzle for the first time. Mundon egg stage. I just poked him. Ma poke on him. Muton. Jizzle. He's a charmer. He just looked at me. Oh my God. You look beautiful. Did anyone told you that you look beautiful more off camera than on camera? I was like, no. He was like, wow. I didn't know you were this beautiful. I was like, oh, thank you. Manako, you are a charmer. After someone posted from City Comedy. And then he went. And last year, this is why I said, yeah, man, artist be, artist man, artist you know. And last year, I'm sohla si Jizzle, and I saw him And I spoke to him and I said, I need something from you. And then he said, okay. And I said to him what I needed. Fuma tahaw, munema, mungi tahaw I need. I said this before on the video. Mungi tahaw I need. Munema ne excuse, muna nyo excuse len ma. Munyo si corner bi mu tahaw fofu mom kena. Munema ne, li nga soxla ma ne ko waaw. Munema ne amul dem, amul ñew. Munema ne what you need is gonna be done now. Mu jël téléphone nam bi si sasi, mu send message. Mu topato lu ma soxla si sasi. Munema is done. Elek di nga am a call from someone and dinañ topato li nga soxla. And I said to him, thank you. I looked at him and said, one thing I don't like about you though. Munema what? Manako dore nango uisa call. Jesus, day jël sa téléphone. So munema aji bare na munema ndeysaan so ma mere suma téléphone bi nga ma mere. Munema man kuma mere suma téléphone nga ma mere. Kuma mere suma téléphone nga ma mere. Kuma bay suma téléphone nga ma bay. Munema légui loy def moy ya? Lay def moy nañ waxtaan rek. Loy def moy sa yo ma soxlé rek contactal awa. Jaru sa nga contact. So contacti awa suma contact rek. It will be done deal. Manok munema manoko ya ko wade munema manok okay légui suma la soxlé dina contact awa. That is it. And that is what I like about him. I did a live video for him. He knew what I said is true. He respected what I said. Amul man harmajar disrespected ma, sagud ma, bindu regarding that, reacted, mu nopi, topoto soxla, comme artiste bu mature rek. Mu contact ma, ñu waxtaan affaire si. Ñun ñëpp ñu nekkal fi ma am soxla si moom su nekkoon Gambian artiste yi wala yéen Gambian yi nga xam ne seen xol yi dañ poussière da ngeen a nekkoon waa kii benn time dafa musoon a defal live du ma wax ak moom because yéen da ngeen am problème you don't move on waaw when I was standing Jesus mu ne ma aji ma ne naa mu ne ma man gis na ma waa gis ni mu ne ma man aw ma benn problème mu ne man aw ma benn problème ma ne ko xaw ma de next time I want to talk to you be on the phone waaw waaye su nekkoon yeneen Gambie artistes yi muroo biscuit artistes yi nii ñooy commencé di wane xay kii man la lay faloon duma dem foofu noonu ba bat yeneen yi sax yeneen day jël problème yi jàmbur doo leen nelaw kenn mooy dem mu ne waaw dafa defaloon Jizzle live mu jël problème boobu def ko si xolam bi mu ne loolu moom problème am la waaw that's what I respect about Jizzle. And one thing I like about Jizzle, I have wrote this over and over on my WhatsApp status. Jizzle is one Gambian artist boo xam ne dafa fonka liggéeyam. Jizzle, if you look at Jizzle's page, and I tell E this every time. One thing I like about Jizzle, he is constantly on it. Jizzle is a hard worker. Jizzle liggéeykat la. So set a Facebook he's giving people update about him. Jizzle dafa nekk artist boo xam ne dafa xam the power of social media and he utilize it to his best. Dafa utilize internet bi. And I like that about him. Like Jizzle gives me a vibe of an artist. Like Jizzle, like he gives me an artist vibe, and that's what I like about him. Yeah, and I think with that he does a good job. He gives us, man. I like artists more. The social media is there, like constantly, and like he's a hard worker. You listen to Jizzle, and I never had to. Every now and then he's giving us muneka music, muneka short video, muneka his pictures, muneka like he's constantly on it, and that's that. When I look at Jizzle, I'm like, that is an artist. That's what I like about him. And one thing I don't like about him, he watched this video. He doesn't pick his phone. Because I was told that most of the time in the day, most of his time during the day, he is sleeping. So his phone is off. And during the night, he is up, and then his phone is on. Because mom can he told me this, and then Seth told me this, and his manager also told me this about him. So I think he should work on that. But he also told me that mom si boppam wax na ma ne nit ñi dañ dee yenn saa dañ ko dee contact regarding loo xam ne lu fulis la and then instead of you contact koo xam ne moo ko war a deal with sax ñu contact ko moom so sometimes that's the reason why he does not pick his call. Still work on that. And we have Fulla Gangster. After Jizzle, Fulla Gangster. Why I love Fulla Gangster? I love Fulla Gangster because he is a free-spirited person. Fulla does not give a shit. He does not care. Man, I like people like that. Fulla is Fulla. And Fulla entertains me. Fulla rahmademuna realo. Like Fulla would say one of the stupidest things on earth. And I'm like, did he just say that? Like Fulla just say crazy things. And Fulla just, like when I say he says crazy things. And one thing I like about him, Tamit, he understands people because I think last month he dropped a song and an album. So mu call me because I forgot to put my video. But at the point, I was too busy to do it. I've got something to do, and then ma call ma call ko ma wax ko ne mënuma ko def because I couldn't do it, and then mu understand I couldn't do it. Mu ne ma amul problem, yeah, and I like that because it's not sometimes that singa danga soxla nit ki mu mun ko def because at the time tamit ma ngi tohu setuluma things were difficult and I was not all that to. I've got a lot of things going on at the time. So my explain now I couldn't do it. But then full of time monek artist bomb smoke call it boy Aji boy Chapans boy Aji boy Nina hey ni like Fuller is Fuller gangster. Mom, he's gangster and I like the crazy things about Fuller. And no matter what you say, man, I don't like sensitive people. Just not Fuller, no matter what you say, Fuller would take it and just know oh, you know what this and Fuller sona. And yeah, I like the come man new crazy, I like them. I like Fuller. And the next person is Lixin. I like Lixin because Lixin is one of those cool artists. He is in his corner doing his own thing. And Lixin loves Aji. Come Lixin, lima wasi mom rek mo ne ko comme chronico. Lixin dafa buga Aji. Yeah, and I'm after suma sobi ak mom hanga Gambia dafa tuti sila xamne Lixin is a family friend of my niece's husband, so I knew that they're related. And then Lixin is the kind of person bo xamne I think few months ago I wrote something and then man mako binda but it was on E's page but he didn't know, so he contacted me and said, hey, tell E there's something so mun don jema rectify something lu nekkon ci page E, and I was like, I did it. So I like that because Muneka artist bo hamne gis nga lena lo hamne lifin la he just called his management and pointed out and we had to fix that, and I would say thank you to Lixin for that. I just love Lixin. He is a cool dude, and Lixin man mako just like, and I just like him because when I did my show with him because my day for some passing I just said, oh okay, I like this guy, he is cool. He's just different, and he is in his little corner. And Lixin, what I don't like about him, I like everything about Lixin. And then Aya, Easy. I love Aya. Yeah, Aya. Sadama Fati won't be the turambe later, lad. Oh, I'm like Aya. What I like about Aya, more Aya's got his own thing going on in his little corner, and Aya is someone that minds his business. That's what I took notice about him, because Aya artist bukula and Aya foko jis mugere so he was samugere. Aya so busy samugere. He's always laughing. He's got his own corner, his own bubble. Like Aya's got his own thing, and Aya is one of the first artists you just ne man bujis the man ma I den neka. And then he saw it like he didn't see it. Like he saw us doing our thing and he's like, I'm not even here. Like I'm not, like he minds his business, and that's what I like about him. And he is cool. Come Aya, I message legi mu reply Aya need. And when he lost his dad, I kept messaging him constantly to check on him because I like him. Many artists would say, oh, receive my message from Ajibo. Because Tamid no Aya melak man, because when I met Aya, Aya is cool. Well, when I called Aya, because small Buddha knows how this hot seat be mom like initiator. So Aya is a cool dude, and I like the fact that he minds his business. Like he saw what he saw, like he didn't see what he saw. So Aya is cool. I love Aya. And come Aya, the next artist bo hamne for humble bopam. Aya so ko messages, so ko calls if you need him. He's just there. He's cool and he's respectful. I love Aya. Yeah. My one also work more, so I recently I've got cancelled because something else, but I don't want to talk about that. And then we go to ST. Sana. ST. When people say ST, I don't like to say ST. I like to say Sana. I don't know. It makes me feel better if I don't call him an artist name, because I don't feel the ST is an artist to me. He's a brother to me. Suma charming la. Mata ma dafa am ñoo xamne artist len ci man, ñoo xamne duñ artist ci man. Suma charming len. Yen mun nañu nek artist yen. ST is one of the humblest people I have ever man ko wone suma kawar yaram bangi taw ever met. ST dafa mun nitam. Xam nga dama de wa Gambian artist dafa am ST fu mu leen munee. ST dafa mun nitam. ST soko doore ben dafa la de door ñaar. Soko buggee dafa de bugga double. ST su ma fi buggee toog ma wax ST it can be a whole bloody 2 hours video gis nga ST nit moo ko nitam laa la moo ko jaral lu nekk ST su la buggee bugga na la like he goes all out he loves dafa mun nitam xam nga loolu moo bariwul si aar bi tamit moo tax dama dee wax people ne ST lim am daf ko war a am parce que fam nekka daf fa war a nekka te nekkut fa because like magic lii la yàlla di fay lii the first time I met ST meet ko nii like it was in the UK si park event la and I looked at the guy and I said to Safin blind me this guy's got the energy for his fans fat dem ñëw li tek hog nuyu like the guy didn't literally eat whole day ST lekkut dafa sona mu sona and I'm looking at this guy like man la I couldn't have done it and don't forget he's the biggest artist in the country nañ ko nangu but then amul pour gis nga festival boobu noonu paak la woon paak amul pour nëbbat sa wala taxaw wala ñu ne artiste la xaaral ñu dem nëbba ko non munoon naa ñëw security big si du ma bàyyi ma fen Safi du ma bàyyi ma fen but the guy was ba pare ku nekkaa ko bugg a nuyu ku nekkaa bugg a jël netaal ak ku mboolem ku bugg a jël netaal the guy is available to take a picture I'm thinking my brother how do you do it I cannot because I don't have the energy but ST daf dee make so gis nga lii ngeen war a seetee seen bopp daf dee make so ne jox na fansami lan la fansami bugga the fans want ST they get ST don't you understand ça like dañ ko bugga mu jox leen boppam xaw ma keneen bi man Aji Jaay naa call ST léegi hello Sana su ma koolee Aji naam ma wax ko soxla and xoolal su ma jëlee beneen téléphone sax comme for exemple ma jël téléphone la ma call ST dama ko wax ne mu ngi nelaw su eewoo daf maa call dama ko xoolal dama de listen I tell 5 o'clock 4 dina call and the phone rings and it's ST and will like will ST that is the guy dafa mun nitam ST soo ko buggee mu bugga la daf dee bugga te soo ko buggee moom daf la dee xajaane daf dee won àdduna bi yëpp ne dama la bugga kii dama ko bugga te daf laa jaay àdduna bi yëpp ST daf laa jaay di jaay a xoo kon kooku dafa mun nitam ST boo ko joxee benn mu jox la fukka pour make sure ne happy nga I think ne moom nit ñi ñu kontaan ñu ko bugga kontaan moo ko dee kontaan loo that's ST te rëyut suma expérience am moom laay wax dee rëyut because nit koo xam ne tey moo nekk ñun suñ naka la ko Youssou Ndour ndóog wala ñun suñ everything nga call ko léegi kay moo la mbuuroo biscuit artiste yi danga leen a call xoola dañoo am benn hit song sax nga di leen call ñu la blacklist soo leen callee du dugga leer la du dugga amana ñoom interaction léegi sax interaction boobu jee suy pare ñu la blacklist they don't care ba gis nga ST kam nekka démba si yow kooku lay nekka tey kooku lay nekka gannaaw ëllëg kooku lay nekka gannaawaati ëllëg couleur du wecciku moo tax ST bu la buggee daf laa bugga bu la bàyyee bàyyi na la that's the kind of person he is gis nga ST man I always tell people man ST is not ST is Sana man suma caameñ la te suma etikee suma téléphone ma ne ko 3 weeks ago I called him suma commencé di wax rek dama ne boy Aji yow war nga xam naka la boy comme industrie bi boy Aji boy comme If I even try to say something, this guy is encouraging me to a point that I'm like, when is he gonna let me learn? When? Just 3 weeks ago, Friday beanie, Friday beanie, busi top. Just 3 weeks ago, it was a Friday. I was traveling to London. And I thought of something and I called him and I'm like, hey, damako billahi wallahi ta'ala. Damako call, bena call mujil. And man, that is ST for me. And I have so much respect for the guy. Why? This is not bucho bi bare fi ST AgiesCorner la molen jahase molen ni molen nele. Musuma diga ST wa. Musuma diga mu binda. Musuma diga mu duga. Musuma gena mu diga. Musuma diga ni ST. Musuma gena. I have seen where his fans would even come to my platform and write my blog. And I fought with them. But ST Hamnale Aji would do anything to defend herself. That does not stop me from loving him. Like, if I tell you I love the guy, I love him. Genuinely. You see, those fans that think that they love ST more than I do, don't try me. I love the guy. Don't try me that. But then, if you want to bring a war, that is not a war between man and ST. It's a war between yen mi fok ne dengen buga ST. This is man mi buga ST. Man buguma ST. Put them di bundu hatal kenen. Damay buga ST pour convince kenen ne love foxy ST neku si ST ni la mel. Man, that's how I love. I love to sell people in a better way, not to love to attack people, put bundu hatal yenen people. I don't do that. Man, I don't roll like that. I have had anything, everything. Bugut ST, dafa hate ST, dafa ni ST, amal la fi ST la, a tribalista ni, hypocrisy lam, duga na feli sabat niya, ST lam bis, ST lam, manopi rek, dito potos mo sohla. But I can tell you one thing, the closest people to me, see, some people like Big C, people like E, people like Sesngom, will tell you that she loves ST endlessly. Jarwa nga fam yo xamne jarwa bay dofi ñuy wax rek AgiesCorner, why do you hate ST? AgiesCorner, why do you need but dama len de merlo sa ñom man ma de def anything ma trigger len because bugu len a dega mané ST dama ko wax gaay gëna mer ma di len merlo rek di ku ci katcha affaire ci gëna mer. I have even heard where someone said my friend told me this item ngi setam mu ne ma amna ko wax ne yo nga ne ya dan solal ST dama re man ko dama nga laaj ma borom ma ne yere jigen la dan janda yere goor because they don't know, they just chat shit. And when something happens, they feel like if I sit on a platform and tarnish her image and lie about things or say things that she haven't said, fabricate things like sauce, they will make ST hate her. Bro, buga du bany. The ST daf ma bëgg. What people don't know is ST daf ma yaga di seetaan depuis social issues to tay. Comme li ma doon wax artiste yu bari duñ ma daan seetaan, ST daf ma yaga di seetaan. Regardless of all of that, after that, when ST saw me, he walked to me and said, Aji, no hard feeling. Because ST knows that I'm a talk show host. And ST knows that Aji fights. ST yagaran maseta do tay. But again, you see, like the way I love ST, nothing changes. And I can tell you, yeah, I love the guy. Yeah, I do. Because of a munitam. And AgiesCorner is AgiesCorner because ST Tamit contributed a lot. He is one of the people that made AgiesCorner. ST boost AgiesCorner. And they will go ST money man the woman goat. Man ST and I told him this 3 weeks ago. Allah Sana, yeah, because of their banga, they take the telephone and thank people, especially people that have contributed in what you do. ST is one of the people that helped in building AgiesCorner. So Koku man awmalu mako fay nit ñi ñoy wax di ciow di dof-doflu. But E can tell you when I speak to E about ST, I speak to him about ST. Like, definitely. Because he and ST, they've worked together. Definitely. And he have been so many times in Birkama performing ST shows and all of that. Before we take a break. So just like people like ST, man lola they were Gambian artists. ST dafa mun nitam. Man lala wa de, man dafa mun si man. Man musuma so like ST sama hesitate. I just nga ciow bi lu mo bari ni yep sa. Wow, man suma way la. Te man ST do any other artist to me. Man suma brother la. Suma chamin la. Te amul ben bes bo xamne dina am soxla ci mom eteki mo suma téléphone ma call ko ne ko sana lila buga lila different duga sama tija. I have seen even people that were fighting ST's case and I have seen him with them and he even said hi to me, you kafure hug each other duga na feel sama tija, and then it's like that's not even sana. What I tell people, don't go and fight your hamne du sen fight. Because then like they end problem in jambu def ko headache te dole nelo. This is my problem jambu do wasinana ke paracetamol. I tell people this, but I don't have emo problems and get said. Somebody made them because it's not my problem. That's how much I love and respect him, regardless of all of that. Somebody wants my telephone, legi. Nitia de chow simera. But I need to see the chow. AgiesCorner. Young get for the motor AgiesCorner they left because I'm not AgiesCorner man for maneka. Can mulu ma wache. Try the coffee. Watch a platform. Be different platform. Be different need to go somebody. You think? You know, when I remember ST's shows, Mokalaje, a question, he said, I'm not going to break anything that I helped to build. That's sense, that's maturity. But some of you, Muhammad, oh, okay, good night.
How's my foundation?
Not music for no. Yeah. So some of you, yeah, Dumalende Muna like understand. I got the fight back. Take a mola. I'm not the better you talk. You know, they mer no. I'm not your roots. Yeah, man, ST that for munitam. Man, that's what I like about him. ST door come for you. Wow. And his people are his people. When you give him love, he give you love triple 50 times. You them sikan. No, what? Okay, one thing I don't like about ST is sumere. Do they buy? I have seen where that guy is angry. You see Gambian weekend. I'm like, ooh, why man tami no lamel? Man suma mere duma dewa, and suma mere duma de buy, and that's a thing there. But it's a short man syndrome. So you got that you swing mere do de buy. That's one thing I don't like about him, to be honest. I've seen where he is angry. I'm like, wow, it's not easy to calm him down when he is angry. Yeah, I think, yeah, to be honest, I think he should definitely work on that. Yeah. So do they buy. But I have so much respect for him. And he is the kind of person, Bohamne, if he can uplift anyone, if he can see anyone winning, if he can participate or throw anything, lo hamne moita boromam dem. Mota mom soko bugi daf de make so ne aduna bi yep bailen ko xel aduna bi yep xamne ki suma nit la. Mom non la daf de titoro nit. Te non la wara demé. And the last before the list, J Life. I like J Life. I love J Life. Because J Life, if I make a call him mom, he's not sensitive when it comes to me. And J Life don't go there for you, no neka. J Life. But I just feel like he is talented, super talented. J is someone that I can joke with, laugh with, crack jokes. J supposed to WhatsApp status munako waluneka munako ni do dem mer. J, that's what I like about him. J do mer. No, he does not. He does not get angry like that. It takes a lot for J to be angry. Man lala man like the comment they wanna fire mom get comfortable with that. Yeah, J is like that. That's what I like about J Life, and I think J Life is really talented. Gambian producer, mom, to be honest, he is one of the best producers in the Gambia, and I like J. You understand? But I love J. And the last one is Manding Muri. Manding, what I like about Manding small while I do tay. Comme li ma wax rek jamono Gambian musician 2011 2012 dafa am Gambian artists yoo xam ne ñu bari dama close na ñoom, and those were the times where ñoom Manding Mori boy ñu ngi nekk top. Mandy used to come to my house. He used to come to my house. He jokes, he laughs. Like Mandy Lola, like Mandy, there's this craziness in Mandy. Mandy dafa muna for, dafa muna mock, dafa muna kaf, dafa. You know what? The first time I called Mandy, after so many years, suma sobi ni ma call ko pour invite ko si sobi. Mandy dama ne hello rek. Yan wa de oy AgiesCorner. Dama ne hello rek mu ma Agies boutique. Man ko naka nga xamé ne man la mu ma je. Kan mo la xamul ne yow la. Because Manding is one of these big artists at the time. Every time you get saitam, wala you get tie them fele gain, fele them need them so yam nungi suma kir, you get cuff, you get re, or munyo suma bitig bi. I've done mona drive sa say highway, bi munyo bisi suma bitig because a highway bill kama highway bila mu park fofu no ñu nekk si bunti bitig bi watan cuff re. I've done mona am meeting sa wax ñu dem. Like Manding suma waila, and Manding, he's down to earth. He is cool. He is jovial. Manding foko feka munge re, munge make noise, munge. We met in I think from Ali Iabini Tamit, and when I met him, he was like Manding. I knew way code kafre. I love Manding, and Manding tamna like music a lot. Manding fum neka do they boring. Yeah. We met, and when we met, someone was acting crazy on me, and Manding commenced to be all protective. So he said, "No more protective, boy." So he said, "Manding, we buga fights ma affair." Man, boy, man, by do be good. No, I love Manding. Manding is one of my favorite Gambian artists. Yeah, and if you haven't heard your name, it's because maybe I'm in interaction mode, or I'm not interaction mode, but we haven't spoken for a while. Or because Manding Buyagun is a texting. Or the list is so long, I could not just do all of it. But as time goes on, I will interact with more and more people. It's not something that a platform owner would do or a platform creator would do. But I think it's sometimes nice for you gain our tani about some of these artists and a little thing that we know about them. Yeah. To be honest, what I don't like about Manding, I just love Manding. I love Manding.